going on, everybody? I'd say happy Sunday, but we all know what happened. 6-40. We get an ass whooping by the Indianapolis Colts. And look, I think a lot of us kind of went into it not very confident, but you never expect an ass kicking like that. You expect them to go in, be competitive. Obviously, had a couple players down, some key players. Brock Bowers couldn't go. Michael Merritt, obviously, we knew he was going to be out. But it looked as nasty as we never expected to happen. We didn't expect it, but it was bad. So, man, it kind of left me speechless. I turned off the game once it was done. I had to walk around the house. I ended up going to the store because I had to think about things I just had to pick up. I was like, oh shit, maybe I should go get some more toilet paper because we look like shit. I don't know. I had to walk this one off, man. It was brutal, but I appreciate everybody popping in. And before we kind of get started, I'm gonna say what's up to Severe. Just so you guys know, Chris picked the perfect time to go on vacation. He's enjoying the good life, so shout out to him. Make sure you guys after this go hit up Chris with Protect the Show podcast. He's definitely part of the Raider War Room. We hit you guys post game, but I do want to say, man, I appreciate everybody that still rocks with us. I know it's hard. It ain't easy. When our Raiders continue to fail year over year over year, we got our real ones that continue to rock with us, and we definitely appreciate you guys. So just so you guys know, we do a sub-only chat. So if you want to get involved with the chat, hit that sub button. And so you can kind of throw those comments out there because we're going to ask a bunch of questions. And, man, it's an open forum. Let us know how you think we need to fix this thing moving forward. But we appreciate everybody rocking with us. So, yeah, double tap that screen, hit that sub button if you can. But, man, let me throw it over to my guy, Severe. And, Chad, I'll get you in a second. What's going on, man? I would say how you feeling, but I'm just going to say what's going on.
Yeah, man. Tough loss. When we kicked that field goal with 5:48 down 40-3, I thought we were making it. I thought we were on the verge. I thought we were on the verge of a comeback. We kicked that field goal down 37 with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I was like, man, we got them right where we want them. Where we want.
We were trying to spark something. That's what we were trying to do.
We was trying to add some sparks, man. I thought, I saw the genius in that. I saw the genius, and we just fell short. Fell a little bit short, but yeah, man, this it is what it is at this point, man. I thought we'd lose. I thought we'd be more competitive, especially after the Bears game. How tough of a loss that was. I thought we would come out feeling, hey, you know what? We got a spark lit under us. We should have won that game. Let's show them that, hey, that wasn't fake or phony. It was real, and we're a competitive football team in the NFL. And we can duplicate that, not against a bad team with the rookie head coach. We can do it against an actual team. And, obviously we couldn't do it. And I just thank my lucky stars because I want to thank Chris for going on this cruise. I want to thank Chris, even though I hate him for it, because I don't think he watched the game. I think he said he listened to it. So as I'm doubly pissed at him, I think that's what he said. He didn't see the game, and he's not here right now. But I want to thank him because if he did not go on this cruise, I think we were planning a trip to Indianapolis.
Exactly, we were
going to this game. So hey, thank you, Chris, for this salvation. Thank you.
100%, man. Because I'll tell you right now, if I wasted money going all the way out to Indianapolis, I wouldn't be able to come back and look at my wife in the face. I mean, she would be like, "Wait, okay, so I'm going to Target. I'm going to." She's gonna be like, "I'm about to spend my money as well." Jesus Christ, man! And look, shout out to everybody that went to the game and dedicated and you do your thing. But I live here near the Vegas area, and I can't fathom trying to go to a game with that type of production on the field. So shout out to anybody that still wants to roll that game. Shout out to you. And Chad, I'm going to get you in a second. But I was listening to, I think, Rundown and Pharaoh earlier today. I was literally walking through the grocery store because I had to walk it off a little bit, right? And I think Rundown said, oh, yeah, I ain't going to the Titans game no more. So now we can never know if Rundown is actually a real person.
That's convenient.
It's convenient. It's like Rundown knew.
I told y'all. Look, he was supposed to go to the Bears game. It didn't happen. Because remember, everybody's supposed to go to week 2. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna go to week 2. I'm supposed to go to. I'm doing something with the family week 3. You know, his family's from Chicago, so I'm doing a week 3 thing. Okay, cool. He's like, oh, but we know Titans for sure. Titans, you know, as Leo's birthday, and now look, convenient. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, the theory still stands. The theory still stands.
It does, because he waited. He waited for at least like 4 or 5 games to give himself a reason of, man, this team shit, I ain't going. I ain't spend money on this. He planned it out perfectly. He is AI, so he probably figured that he knew it out the box.
He ran through all the scenarios. He knew it. he knew it.
The
probabilities was already in there.
The simulation game for him was on point. God damn it, man. But shout out to our guy Rundown, man. What up, Robert Pena? What's going on? Gino sucks, man. Can't complain. We're going to talk about offense, defense, and even special teams. We're going to break this thing down, man, but I appreciate everybody rocking with us. Emily, appreciate you. I knew they would lose, but not this badly. Is it next year yet? Because this one's in the shitter, 100%, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Faster than you, 74. It's over. What's going on? What up, Dre? What's happening? Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Jeff, appreciate you. I'm only here because my therapist insisted before I choke something out of today's game. It's nasty work. It's nasty work. LS, what's happening, man? What's going on? Appreciate you rolling in.
Hey, that field goal, LS. We kicked that field goal. I was like, yes. It's the comeback trail.
Trust the process. Trust the process. We might have been well on our way.
Hey, look, guys, but look, I just want to say this. You know, I know it's all doom and gloom. Everybody thinks season is over and we're such a horrible team and, you know, we can never recover from this. We may not win another game. I know the pitchforks are out. You know, the torches are out. The people are in the streets riding. I just want to say this. None of y'all won a Super Bowl. So who are you guys to criticize this man who won a Super Bowl? None of you guys won a Super Bowl. Who amongst you has won a Super Bowl? If speak now or forever hold your peace. Speak now, because obviously that's the prerequisite to being able to criticize anything his team does, is to have won the Super Bowl. None of you guys won, at least playing the Big 8, you know, at least playing the Big. If you haven't done at least that, you're not qualified to speak.
Man, Severe's just waiting for that one because we were waiting for it. We talk about it all the time. We're waiting for just that one person to comment. But who are you? And you know better than the coaches, the GMs. Like, we're waiting for it. But hey. 99% of our chat is on point. We love you guys. But there's always that one. Just another DJ, what's going on? Hey, and real quick shout out to LS and everybody else that are members to, you know, the channels. I know Severe's got members. I just dropped some members, so does Chris. And so we appreciate everybody that does become members. We do a sub-only chat to show appreciation to all of our subscribers. We do have memberships because, look, again, YouTube does not like us breaking down game film. And if you guys know, we break down game film on Wednesdays. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep rocking. But, man, YouTube doesn't like it, and we might have to do it in a different way. But we're going to still try to pull it off for you guys, but we appreciate everybody that rocks. But, yes, we do have memberships. If you guys want to support the channels, we definitely appreciate it. What up, DJ? What's going on? Sacktown. What's happening? Man, I was spending a quick minute trying to figure this one out. Grem to grad? Grem. You're Grem to me. What's going on? Nothing going to change, dog. This team, like a grip of other teams in the past, they just suck. Yeah, they do. It's rough. Enamel Red, what's happening? Appreciate y'all. Dominique 5 in the building. What's going on, man? Can we bench SpyTek? We're going to talk about that too. You know, well, we're going to talk about that too. Athena, what's going on? Hey, we lost, but we have to do better. We need a change. And we're going to figure out what that change is. And guys, help us out because we're going to talk about it. What up, Tyler? What's going on? Salute. 1-4. What's happening? Let's see. Daniel Kim. Good seeing you, man. Appreciate y'all. Effing embarrassing. Not expected, though. We need to bench Gino. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about benching Gino. Almond Glaze, what's going on? Jason, what's happening, man? Appreciate y'all. Bro, these guys messaged me about the candy situation. Yeah. And I said, you know what? And I was not joking. I said, from this point forward, I ain't even telling my kids that the Raiders are playing because I'm not going to get them excited that they might hear touchdown. Because if the Raiders score touchdown, I yell it and they hear me and they know, bang, we're going to get some candy. They wait for it. I shit you not, like 40 minutes in, they'll kind of peek into my office as I'm watching the game. They'll be like, touchdown? Like, no, nothing.
No.
No,
Sorry,
I was like, just leave me alone.
sorry, sweetie. No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
That's all they want. And so from this point forward, I ain't messing. I'm not going to even tell them they're playing. I'm not going to tell them. I was telling them I'm going to my office for a second.
Yeah.
What up, Frank? What's going on, man? I know Frank.
We got in plus territory, and Pete Carroll robbed those kids of some potential candy. I'll never forgive him for that. I would never. 5:48 left in the fourth quarter. He robbed those sweet children of some candy.
They really did, and they only get candy and dessert on the weekends, and so they just finish. They're pissed. They're pissed. What up, Frank, man? I think I went live, and Frank told me he was actually going to the game, man. Again, shout out to you. You went to the game, man, and like you're saying, man, a waste of money. It's brutal. It's brutal, man. Dominic, what's going on? I appreciate you rocking in with us. Bueno, I see you. What's happening, man? Steve in the building. Football, Sunday therapy, Monday for all Raider fans. We need some therapy, without question. Super Omnicron, appreciate you pulling through. Oscar, what's happening? Brandon, see you in here. LS with the super chat, man. I appreciate you. Ain't no way I'm coming all the way to Vegas to watch this team with this current regime. I've said it before, SpyTech. Pete will not see out year 3.
Hey, LS, you already committed to coming next year. Like, ain't no backing out, brother. You said next year. No backing out now.
At this point, we might start now and just doing a GoFundMe for LS, man. We are going to help you get out here so you ain't got to spend that goddamn money coming out here. We might have to pull it all together for you. Oh, man. Gage, what's going on? 640? Wild. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Man. BBs, what's going on? Appreciate you rocking with us as well. I see you, 831 Raider. Everybody popping. ASAP in here as well. I can't say thank you enough, man. When we're this brutal and y'all come still pull through and check in with us, man, we appreciate it. Chin Chad, what's going on? Raider Menace in the building, Quirk. Man, everybody popping in. All right, I'm going to say what's up to everybody else in just a second, man, but let's kind of get to the first one.
In here too, a lot of new faces, so welcome. All you guys, welcome. Appreciate you guys stopping through out there. Tough loss.
So tough. Man, as I scroll down, got to say what's up to our guy, Lunatic. What's going on, man? Shout out to you. All right, here's the thing. I know the hot topic is going to be petecarroll, Geno Smith. But, let's talk about shit. I think defense might be the first one. So let's go through defense, right? Obviously, we give up 40 points. Not a whole lot of help from the offensive side. We had our first initial drive looked good. It looked creative. We were moving downfield. Shout out to someone. I was on a live yesterday, and I was kind of talking about the strategies that we could pull off, knowing that we're going to miss 2 tight ends and Colton Miller's out. And let me know in the chat if you're the one, but they mentioned kind of using Genty in wheel routes. And I had to stop and think, and I was like, you know what? It could work if you get in a man-to-man situation, you get them locked up, get him one-on-one with a linebacker, get him with some receivers outside and kind of make that linebacker kind of work out in space to get to him. And first play was kind of a wheel route out of the backfield, hit him, moved it downfield. I think the reason why we actually had a better time of possession was mainly because of that first drive, because that first drive took up a good portion of the quarter.
Yeah, took like almost the whole quarter, feels like.
Yeah. Creative, ran the ball, got it going in the air. But we all know the first 10 plays or so are scripted, and then we shit the bed, we fall up short, we kick a 3. That's the only points we got for the majority of the game. Outside of that, we just look sloppy. Offensive line struggled. Obviously Jordan Meredith is just not fully understanding the responsibilities at the center position.
It's not fair to him. He's not a center. It's extremely unfair to ask a guy who's never played the position to come in and play it at the highest level against some of the best. He's going against the DeForest Buckner. He's going against one of the best interior pass rushers in the league. Like, it's not fair to him. But we did this to him. After he had a good year. I'm gonna let you finish. I'll go ahead and finish, man. I'm gonna unload. I'm gonna let you finish, man.
And that's kind of what I was gonna say, right? It's like when you talk about the offensive line, like Jordan Meredith finished last year as one of the best guards in the National Football League. JPJ was showing promise at the center position. And look, as much as I think JPJ still could be a good guard, that doesn't mean Jordan Meredith is going to pan out at center. And we shuffled this whole thing up, and nobody understood why. And they gave us some bullshit excuse that JPJ just wasn't figuring out, even though he's the Remington Award winner in college football last year. So we know that he understands the center position. And so are you just trying to think like you're smarter than the rest by switching this thing up and saying, well, JPJ just doesn't get our system and what we want to do? Bullshit. I kind of call bullshit on this. So, and Stone Forsythe, every time I watched him, his ass looked like he was just laying on the ground because he has zero footwork. His feet aren't quick. He just found himself laying on the ground half the goddamn game. And we knew that he was not a good pickup. And we knew that no one wanted him because we picked his ass up with a week and a half left to the first game. No one wanted him. And then we get rid of Sweet Feet there in Mumford. Yeah. And look, he didn't look great in preseason, but I sure should have him over Stone Forsythe right now.
Yep. Especially at left tackle. That's like the only time he's ever looked good at any position. Really, was that when he played that left tackle for a brief period of time.
So we're gonna kind of get through the chat. Severe, I'm gonna throw it to you, and we'll kind of talk about the O-line. I'll let you kind of go on your points as well. But chat, let me know. Like, do you think it was the right move with JPJ, Meredith, the switch up, Stone Forsythe? Because look, a lot of us didn't like it, and this is where we're at. Chat, let me know. I'll bring it up. Also, if you are new to the chat, hit that hashtag new ones just so we know you're new. We just show our appreciation. But Severe, man, give us your thoughts on this offensive line.
Yeah, man. We made changes to the offensive line just for the sake of making changes, right? Parham's already said he likes playing right guard better than left guard. That's been established. JPJ has already said he's a center. He spent all offseason. Had a whole soliloquy on the Rush podcast about how much he loved playing center, how much when he was able to play center last year. Told us the story about the Antonio Pierce thing and going up and demanding, hey, I'm the Remington Award winner. I'm playing center. And how after he hip tossed the guy the first time, he's just like, oh my God, I'm home. It felt so good, like such a release for him. And then we immediately ripped that away from him for no good reason. And Meredith, as you already said, finished last year as one of the better guards in the league. We finished last year actually gelling on the offensive line. We were getting rushing production out of Amir Abdullah and Sincere McCormick. Those two guys were actually able to produce when we had that alignment last year. And for some reason, these geniuses say, you know what? Whatever worked down the stretch last year, whatever chemistry and cohesiveness you built last year, let's throw all of that out the window. Let's last minute put this guy who's never played center before at the NFL level at center, move the guy who wanted to play center, who was drafted to play center. Let's put him at right guard, which he didn't even play last year. He was left guard. Let's put the guy that played right guard, says he prefers playing right guard. Let's put him at left guard. Like, none of it made any sense. None of it. So it's no wonder why we can't get things together everywhere else, because the one basic spot where we thought we had some traction, had something solidified, they chose to change up for nothing.
For nothing. Honestly, and I think everybody can almost agree that we need to change it up. But here's the thing, though. Is like there have been plenty of moments. Last week the O-line looked good. Genty was untouched for, damn near 50% of his runs to the second level. So it looked good. It was gelling. There's moments where the offensive line showed promise in the pass protection. But look, the thing is, we need consistency. We need to show improvement. We need to show that we are getting better week over week. And the improvement doesn't need to be drastic, right? As long as we gradually show that we're improving, then we can trust that you're making the right decisions. But we keep going back and forth, where sometimes a good day, sometimes a bad day. And look, I think the Colts' run defense actually wasn't that good. I think the Colts' run defense actually is very susceptible to giving up yards. And, I don't know. It's tough.
We left some yards on the field. I will say that, but.
We did, man. Drew Gray, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. Just so you know, I don't start following college football, especially the quarterbacks, until about this week. I let the first half of college football kind of roll through because you get some sleeper names that pop up. I was a big Drew Waller fan, and that's man, he's struggling. But I hate that Penn State offensive coordinator. I'll say that.
Yeah.
That offensive coordinator is absolute trash. But I'm gonna start paying attention now. Severe. Any quick names that pop out of you as it relates to the college game?
I've been saying it for 2 years now. Dante Moore. I mean, he was, he's a guy. Before he played at UCLA as a true freshman, he struggled, but I saw the type of player he was going to be. It's just the level of throws he was able to make as a true freshman, a 17-year-old. Just barely a 17-year-old. And I think now he's like a Heisman front runner for the time being, playing up there in Oregon. Has all the talent, has the poise, cool, calm, collected, enough juice to hurt you with his legs. Leadership abilities, I think he has the total package. So I think he's a guy that, will go on the top of the draft, which is right where we'll be picking.
Yeah, man. TJ, man, I appreciate you. Yeah, hey, trust me, all the content creators out here, damn near know more. I could care less what their opinion was. They know more than this goddamn coaching staff and front office at this point because it is an absolute mess. It's tough. Faster than U74. I think you're talking about Meredith. He's too small, and you can't argue with that. I've said it from day one when making the switch. The hard part about Jordan Meredith is he's not very big. I think he's like 6'1", just over 300 pounds, like 305. And moving him to center, having to snap the ball, fire out your arms, get out of your stance, you go up against larger interior defensive tackles. It's going to be difficult for him because he's more of a technical guy. He's going to beat you by technique, not by mauling you and running you over. And so he needs that initial get off to really get advantage and get positioning on his block. And at center, you have to snap it first, then get out. And again, Severe said it. We all know it. He's never played the position before. So why expect him to do it now when he's literally never played it before? So what up, Larry, man? I see you. This is sickening. I know. It is. It's tough. That's why. Got my drink in hand, and I got something next to me within reaching distance to refill. We're gonna have a little bit of fun tonight. Let's see. VBs, we got a roster full of scabs. It's tough, man. Shin Chan, Titans beating us next week. No one can say we're beating anybody.
Yeah, man.
Jeffrey
Simmons is licking his chops right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for sure. Manny Dunlap, they need to put JPJ back at center. That wouldn't be a bad move at this point. So we appreciate everybody rocking with us. Let's do this though. John Doe, what's going on, man? What's happening? Tommy Mote, I see you. How about Jordan Meredith getting yelled at by Gino? Yeah, they're talking play clock, and as a center, man, sometimes you just kind of have that brain lapse when you've never played it before to look at that clock, to look at the play clock. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a brain lapse when you've never done it before, and that's the hard part.
Yeah.
So, looks like
Lenore Seller's another guy I like. Another guy, but he's more raw. He's more raw tools. I think Dante Moore is going to be he's more NFL level thrower in terms of the types of throws he's asked to make. Type of throws he was asked to make, even when as a true freshman with Chip Kelly, some of the reads he was asked to make. You kind of see his processing is there. I don't quite see that with Lenore Sellers, but he's toolsy. Lenore Sellers is toolsy.
So what up, Chris? What's going on, man? Almatic, I see you. Appreciate y'all. Sam, the man in the building. What's going on, man? So look, we kind of talked about the offensive line. I think a lot of us knew we needed to prioritize the offensive line in the draft. And we just it's a struggle. Now, let's kind of go to, obviously, we had issues with, having tight ends out, stuff like that. And so it was going to be a difficult game. But, I'm going to kind of end it off talking about another topic on the offensive side. But let's jump into the big topic. And I know everybody's kind of throwing some comments out there. So let's talk about Geno Smith, Kenny Pickett. Obviously, you look at just how Geno Smith has been performing, right? Back-to-back 3 interception games. Should have been another 3 interception game, but that one pick that should have been a pick was dropped. And Pete Carroll came to the presser, and he said he was considering potentially swapping out Geno, but I think that was so far into the game. And Pete Carroll's response or excuse is that he wanted to use this game as practice, that we need to continue to work on the system. And for you to even throw that out there, that now you're just in practice mode during a game, that doesn't make any sense. Like that, to me, I don't know what's going on in his head. But chat, let me know. Do me a favor, hit that hashtag Raider so I see it. You got the chat's flying, man. I appreciate everybody throwing comments. Hit that hashtag Raider if you answer this question so I can see it and I can pull it up. But is it time for Kenny Pickett? Let me know in the chat. Severe, man, give me your thoughts on Geno Smith and give me your thoughts on whether or not it's time to kind of roll with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, man. When we first traded a third-round pick for Geno Smith, I had my apprehensions, but then, hey, I was to listen to the film guys, saw some of the breakdowns, saw some of what he did with Seattle, heard Pete Carroll talk about him, heard some of the Seattle beat writers talk about him. I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe we got to steal. Maybe we found a guy that never really was able to reach his potential early on, and he sat for years, and he watched, and he waited, and he honed his craft, and he given an opportunity. He had a good couple years with Seattle. Last year, he kind of fell down to earth, but his new coaching staff, all that stuff. So I was like, hey, you know what? His best years came with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll knows him. Hey, maybe Pete Carroll can do it again, bring the best out of him. And first game, hey, we were off like rockets. He came out, he still had an interception, but hey, for the most part, he looked good. I think after week 1, he was leading the league in passing. So okay, off to a great start. It's been nothing but downhill since then. Like, should we see Kenny Pickett? We should have saw Kenny Pickett this game. We probably should have saw Kenny Pickett in the Bears game. And for Pete Carroll to utter the words, "We're using this as practice," like, motherfucker, what? That's what practice is for. Like, you realize you had 3 preseason games and training camp and practice to practice. Like, that's what those things are for. You don't get your ass whipped and then be like, you know what? Hey, I think we need to practice, guys. Like, no, that's not the time to do it. Like, you should have done this already. Like we brought you here because you're the guy that's supposed to have all of this stuff figured out. Like, why is it week 5 and we're getting our fucking teeth kicked in, and now you're talking about practice? Like, I feel like Allen Iverson. Like, practice? Like, we talking about practice? Like, what? Like, that don't make no damn sense, bro. So, like, that lets me know right now, bro. Like I don't know if Pete Carroll's mailing it in. I don't know if he has too much allegiance to Geno to criticize him or to pull him. But it was time. After the third quarter, I was like, bro, why is Geno out here? Why is he out here? Get Kenny Pickett out there, because Kenny Pickett should be the guy starting next game. I don't want to see Geno Smith again. I don't want to see Geno Smith again unless Kenny Pickett goes out there and struggles, and we're kind of forced to turn to him. But right now, we should be seeing Kenny Pickett. And that's a sad state of affairs.
It's sad. I'll give you my take on Kenny Pickett, but 1-4 looks like, man, you ready for Pickett? Jason, it don't matter. And you're right, man. If Kenny Pickett enters in the game, it doesn't move the needle. The thing is that it's just basically holding Geno accountable for the poor play that he has been showing these first 5 games. Like, it's making sure that it sends a very clear message to the rest of the roster, the rest of this team, that if you have a poor performance, if you are performing badly, then you either got to be put on notice or it's time for a change, right? And nobody is susceptible to that. So it's tough. Jason, I agree with you. Kenny Pickett don't move the needle. Kenny Pickett's not going to be any better. But at the same time, maybe you can get like a little bit of a spark that might help out the rest of this team. You don't know.
No harm situation. It's a do no harm. Just go out there and do no harm. Just don't throw interceptions. Like, that's just, when I ask you to throw for 400 yards, just don't throw picks.
Exactly. But here it is. Jeremy, it was time for Pickett mid third quarter. I don't think a lot of people disagree with that. Accelerator, yes, Geno can't succeed in Vegas. He needs a really talented squad to succeed. The only thing I'll say about that is every quarterback needs talent around them, but Geno just can't make the mistakes he's making, right? Like, a lot of those, almost every interception he's had this year is purely on him. Yes, there was that one tipped ball that landed, into the defender's hand. Okay, but everything else solely on him, and you can't be having that week 5. You need to start to clean those things up. John Thompson, we need quality wide receivers that know how to play the position, a QB that has the common sense not to throw into double coverage. I'm easy. It's time for Cam Miller, man. You got to go Kenny Pickett before Cam Miller. I want to see that kid at least sit and learn and just develop. That's just my opinion. Severe, any thoughts on that?
You're the same. And Pete Carroll already said he already has no intentions of playing them. When he asked him about making him backup quarterback, what does he need? And what do you say, like for a few seasons or something like that? What do you say? Some nonsense like that. So we already know he's not going to do that unless he's like forced to.
And our guy Phil Chris in the building, only the great, powerful AOC can save our season now. Here's the thing, bro. I'll tell you right now, can you imagine if Kenny Pickett comes in and just shits the bed as well? The amount of the AOC truthers going to come out of the woodworks, and they're just going to be it's going to be wild. And I'm going to get to my point about Kenny Pickett and Geno and stuff, but I want to get some of the chat in as well. Yeah, Jose Severe brought it up, and we're all thinking the same thing. Going for that field goal at the end of the game was beyond weak, 100%. Yeah, Eric, Geno is terrible, but so is the entire team, led by the worst GM, Spytek, and he ain't out the woodworks either. Not at all. And so let's do this. Here's my thing. I'm with you. Like when we brought on Geno, at the very least, a lot of people talk about trusting the process. And I was like, look, Pete knows him. Pete understands. And Geno was motivated. Sometimes you just need motivation as a player to play for somebody to kind of get the best out of you, right? So you're hoping that just that dynamic is going to allow Geno to just help us be competitive. And just compete every single game. Now, there's massive question marks on whether or not he could compete in the playoffs or even take us to the Super Bowl. That remains to be seen, and I had a bunch of question marks. But I was hoping that Geno can come in and just keep us competitive, right? But he's failing to do that, and it's tough. And if you bench Geno, it's a waste of a third-round draft pick. We traded a third-round draft pick for Geno Smith, and that tells me that Pete Carroll, that was your guy. You made the bad decision of trying to go after a guy, and you wasted a third-round draft pick for him. We lost that trade without question. And in the third round, you still get value in the third round, a potential starter that could be an impact right away on your football team.
Wait a minute, 85. Would we get... Would we get a potential start?
Some team can make a third-round draft pick work out. Some team. You're going to make me pour another drink. God damn it. But you trade away a third round. And I saw some comments earlier in the chat basically saying trade for Russell Wilson for a fifth round. I'm like, do you realize we gave up a third for Geno? If Kenny Pickett comes in and does nothing, we gave up a fifth for Kenny Pickett. And just remember, we're going to get compensation picks. We might get a potential third-round comp pick for, I believe, Nate Hobbs, and we might get a fourth round for Travion Merrick. Like, we might get a third and a fourth next year, depending on how they play and stuff like that. That might move around. But could you imagine if we held on to that third round? Could you imagine if we held on to that fifth round and we had an additional third and fourth round? Like, we could have had three third rounders next year. And you want to trade up for a quarterback? You want to move around that draft, to capitalize on somebody and move up in the draft? I sure as shit would have loved to have that draft capital. So this is why it's so important that coaches, front offices make the right decision, because right now, as it stands, we just wasted the third round if we bench Geno and he's no good. And we're going to have the most expensive backup quarterback in the National Football League, and we're most likely going to have him next year. I think in the third year we could possibly get out of his contract.
Yeah, second.
But next year,
second most because Kirk.
Oh yeah, because of Kirk. Yeah, that's right. But still, like it's a massive hit to our salary cap for a decision that went horribly. And I'm like, at this point, I really don't care. Go with Geno. Continue with Geno through the bye week, because I want Pete Carroll to prove us wrong. I want Pete Carroll to be like, no, I'm going to turn this thing around, and we can finally have any type of sense of trusting the process. Because right now, we're all going to argue every single goddamn decision this front office and head coach makes, because we've seen so many just horrible decisions from the start of the offseason, whether it be the draft picks, whether it be the shuffling of the offensive line, whether it be picking up Stone Forsythe. Like, all of us question the pickup of Kenny Pickett. Like, if Kenny Pickett just doesn't do anything and he's shit, Well, why didn't you just pick up somebody that was already available? You didn't have to give up any draft capital for.
Yeah.
You know, like there were options out there. And so, I mean, the right decision is to go with Kenny Pickett. I'm not going to disagree with that. The right decision, go with Kenny Pickett. But holy shit, I'd love for us to be able to have some sort of sense of trust in the process, because this fan base is going to continue to argue day in and day out on everything, because we have nobody at the top of the pyramid that's going to be able to steer this ship in the right direction. There's nobody. Yeah. Not Pete Carroll, not John Spytek, because as it stands right now, none of our draft picks outside of Genty flashing last week and having a decent game this week. Outside of that, what draft pick has worked out? 5 weeks in. Jack Besh? No. Darian Porter? No. Both off Caleb Rogers? Charles Grant? No. Deontay Thornton? No. Like, it's like
Pegues and Tonka, they don't look bad, but it's like, you know,
they're getting some rotation.
Late pick, like, yeah, they're late round pick. Like, you know, it's like those are flyers you take on guys, you know. So, you know, I know who does look good. Know who does look good? My boy Spencer Rattler. I told y'all. I thought y'all were going to hear that.
You were pounding the table. You were pounding the table.
About, like, well, who would you rather have on your team now? Tom Yackenberg or Spencer Rattler? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that.
Yeah, like you're pounding the table, and again, you know, I'll kind of end it with this. Is look, I 100% agree that Kenny or Geno Smith at this point has 100% needs to be put on notice and potentially just benched. But also at the same time, it does suck because we're not hearing anything out of training camp. We're not hearing that Kenny Pickett is making some good throws, like the insiders and you know, the Hondo Carpenters and all those guys. They're not asking, like, Geno's had multiple bad games. And so if they were seeing something in practice of Kenny Pickett saying, hey, Kenny Pickett's making some good throws, or he's using his legs a little bit, or, you know, like they would ask those questions of, do you think there's a chance that Kenny Pickett might? No, there's nothing being reported, nothing being talked about. So if Kenny Pickett's looking like shit in practice, you know, it's like, do you move? Do you go that direction knowing that the defense sees what Kenny Pickett's doing? If the defense sees in practice Kenny Pickett is not the guy, and you slot him in, now that defense is going to go into every single game and go, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I don't know what the right decision is outside the fact that Geno Smith looks like shit. But we also know Kenny Pickett has never thrived wherever he went, and he got basically he was either going to be cut or he's going to be traded by the Browns that had 40 million quarterbacks on that roster. Yeah. So we're just in a shit situation. Yeah. That's literally what we're in right now. And I don't know what the right decision is, given the fact that at the very minimum, Geno's playing like shit, and Kenny Pickett probably isn't going to move the needle. And I'm going to have zero confidence going into every single game. I'm going to touch on one other thing before we jump over to other topics. But, man, Reese Rock, man, I see you. What's going on, man? Rather, Browning, Baker, Cam, Ward doing better. They fought and didn't give up.
Yep. Hey.
Chat, do you guys know? None of us know.
We could have had Spencer Rattler for a 5th-round pick. Instead, we chose Tommy Eichenberg, who is currently playing special teams. Poorly at that. And I ain't playing good on special. Not even like as a special teams ace. He's playing mid to subpar special teams play. We could have had a guy that's potentially our backup quarterback and potentially a guy that can, you know, like I'm looking at the analysts saying like, yo, if you watch him play, this guy is a starter in the league. And that's what I said at the time. The guy had as much arm talent as anybody in that draft class, possibly more than all of those guys outside of Caleb and Penix. And you know, and other guy from Tennessee, obviously, Milton. Yep. But he's like right in that tier, elite tier arm talent, and who was a guy that was at one point projected as a top 10 pick, you know, and until he started struggling with the Sooners, went to South Carolina, struggled on a bad team, showed heart, showed leadership, and kind of mended fences in terms of his character issues that some of the people said he had coming out of high school and at Oklahoma. and his coach spoke highly of him. We could have had a guy like that for a 5th. Instead, we chose a 2-down linebacker that can't even get on the field right now. It's like I'm saying, man, it's the stuff we do as an organization, it boggles the mind.
Now, Mike, you're actually going to jump me into my next topic. We're going to talk about Chip Kelly in just 1 second. Just 1 second, man. So I'm going to get back to that. Kevin Lurker, man. What's going on, man? I appreciate you popping in with us. Judo Joe, I see you, man. James, man, I appreciate you throwing a super chat out there. Man, you say, I honestly believe back in the 70s, all me to deal with the devil gave me 3 Super Bowls in the next 8 years, and the devil has come to collect. Man, you ain't lying. Like,
feels that way.
Are we cursed? Chat, let me know. Are we straight up cursed? I swear, because it's just like anything that we do just never pans out, and when it does, we blow shit up. Severe, man, are we cursed?
It feels that way, man. It feels that way. Since the start of free agency, we haven't been, and look, to what James is saying, it wasn't until we hired Chucky, hey, so what's Chucky? A doll imbued with an evil spirit. It wasn't until we hired Chucky, John Gruden, that we started having some success in the late 90s, early 2000s. As soon as we got rid of him, we somehow play him in the Super Bowl. The offense that he knows like the back of his hand. Like, that's the kind of luck we've had. It's got to be something, man. It's got to be some kind of hoodoo, voodoo, or some kind of curse on this organization, because we can't seem to get out of our own way on the football field. On the financial side, they're doing fantastic. They're worth like $8 billion now. They went from being worth $700 million in 2014 to $8 billion now. Like, they're doing all right on that end of things. But on the football field, nah, man, we are cursed.
Well, I think so. And again, we're gonna talk about Chip Kelly in just a second. But Larry, man, I appreciate you. You said I hear you, Severe. However, make the switch permanently in week 9 after the bye week. So you're saying switch over to Kenny Pickett, I think. Yeah, and look, like, again, it's for me, it's just about trusting the process. Like, I don't give, like, if Geno throws in multiple interceptions, then at least I'll know, like, yeah, Pete, you're absolute crap. Geno, you're crap, and we'll move on. And it's not thinking that Geno's going to switch things up, move the needle, improve, whatever. It's just like, damn it, man, I just want a chance at trusting the process. And we just ain't got it, man. The Raider fan base is going to continue to fight. So let's J.E. put Jacoby at quarterback. Hey, he's got the experience. Hey, I was an emergency quarterback for 2 games, and I got 2 W's. I'm just saying. I mean, I only threw for like 60 yards, but hey, I just used my feet. That's what
you gotta do, man. Hey,
and I didn't. Hey, I had no turnovers. That's all I needed to do. Shit, yeah, that'd be wild. That would be wild. Let me kind of get down. I see another super chat, man. I appreciate everybody rocking out with us. If you guys can, because we're gonna talk about Chip Kelly. If you guys can, double tap that screen. Just helps us out, moves the algorithm. You got myself, I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. You got the Severe Raider over to whatever side you're looking. My right, I think it's my right. I appreciate everybody rocking with us. We hit you guys after the game, just giving our post-game reaction, but we also break down game film on Wednesdays if you don't know. And so we've been doing it since last season. So we enjoy doing it. We definitely show you exactly what the good, the bad, the ugly. We just don't talk about it. We definitely show you some proof on what we bring to the table. So definitely tap in with us. But we also got our guy, Chris, Protect the Show podcast. He's living his good life. He's on vacation. Shout out to him, picking the right time to do it. Make sure you guys go over to Protect the Show podcast as well and show him some love once we're done here. And so I do see, man, I'm behind the chat, man. I apologize to everybody, man. Luis Lopez, you say, we got our 3rd back in the draft from the Dolphins.
We traded, but we traded back to get the 3rd. So yeah, we did get that's how we drafted Caleb and Charles Graham back to back.
Yeah. But we got it back. You're correct, but we still gave one away. And basically a waste at that point. I'm gonna kind of go back up, but C-Pull, man, appreciate you throwing a super chat out there. Pete Carroll looks like he used coupons at Burger King. We went bargain shopping all off season. Yeah, without question.
Yeah, Pete Carroll looks like Biden looked in his last year in office, and like Trump looks now. An old man, out of his depth. An old man out of his depth that needs to sit down somewhere. That's what he's looking like. Biden like his last year, and Trump now. It's bad. it's bad. And we see how both those guys finish their jobs.
So look, what up, Coach, man? I see you. I appreciate everybody that's rocking with us. I'm trying to shout out to as many people as I can because, man, you guys are flying with the chat. I definitely appreciate y'all. Omega XL, man, I see you. Let's talk real quick. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are on Chip. Daniel Kim, I thought Chip was an offensive savant. He's just damn offensive. And it brings me to this. Radio 7, what's going on? Chip Kelly is the highest paid offense coordinator in the National Football League. Our offense looks horrible. Being the highest paid offense coordinator in the National Football League has to come with its advantages.
Yeah.
You might have some flaws in your offensive personnel, right? Brock Bowers is out. You had Michael Mayer out. But if you're the highest paid offensive coordinator, you have to be able to design, scheme around that to remain competitive. I'm not saying you need to put up 40 points like the Colts did, right? I'm not saying that. But you got to do better than 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that you need to have some talent around you, but at the end of the day, you have a veteran quarterback. It's not like you're working with a rookie. You have a veteran quarterback that you have to be able to teach your system and get the best out of. And at a very minimum, if we came out, defense did their job, and maybe we would put up 17, 20 points. Okay, you can kind of sit there and go, yeah, we're missing our best offensive weapon. It's tough. But damn, Chip Kelly has to account for something in letting this offense roll. So I'm going to, Severe, I'm going to throw it to you. What are your thoughts on Chip Kelly while I pour myself another round because I need it?
As you said, when you were paying a guy $6 million, the highest paid coordinator in NFL history, you keep that in mind. You have to, like you said, it has to come with some kind of advantages, some benefits, some understanding that you may not have the best talent on the roster, but you will devise a game plan and a scheme to take advantage of the skill set of the guys that you do have. And he has not been able to do that. Now, this past game, I thought he did a better job. I thought he did a much better job than he's done since week 1. So this past game, I'm not fully putting on him, but still, like throughout the rest of the season, it has not looked good. The offense has been stale. It's been predictable. We haven't been nearly creative enough. Haven't used any of our backs out of the backfield with any type of consistency. I think this is the first time we've thrown a screen to a running back the entire season. Like I don't even recall if we've thrown a tight end screen to Brock Bowers, and obviously he's been hurt. But or activate Albert. You got a guy like Albert O, who's a big athletic tight end. Throw a tight end screen to that guy. Like be creative. Now, this game, we was a little more creative. That first drive was kind of the kind of drive I expected us to be in this game, right? Just trying to drive, time-consuming, run the rock, short passing game, get Genty involved in the passing game as well, like kind of control as much of the clock as you can to keep Shane Steichen and that offense on the sideline for as long as possible. That's what I thought we would see more of. And then, as we got later in the game, it just didn't evolve. It didn't get better. It just got staler and staler with each possession. And like I said, we getting paid $6 million. Like it's your responsibility. Now, do I think he's been handcuffed? Definitely. He's definitely been handcuffed. But bro, you got $6 million in your back pocket. You better Harry Houdini your way out of that thing. You better get out of them handcuffs, shake them chains off, and figure something out because you're getting paid a whole lot of money to do just that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we thought we tried to kind of pull together a pretty damn good coaching staff to really make all this stuff work, and we're just not seeing we're not seeing any results whatsoever. And you enter in 1-4, and here's the thing, man. I don't know if you guys have kind of looked or chat. I don't know if you guys have looked at the stats, but statistically, there's only been 16 teams in the history of the NFL that have ever made the playoffs after starting 1-4, and there's really nothing we can really hang our hat on at this point in the season. Yes, Genty got rolling last week. He had a pretty decent game this week. And again, I was going to bring up the stats, but man, when you lose 6-40, stats don't mean a goddamn thing.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And so at this point, We're going against a damn good Titans team that has, I'm sorry, not a damn good team, a good defense, a damn good defense that with a struggling offense. And now if Kenny Pickett does get the call, man, it's going to be a long day. And then we're going against a Kansas City Chiefs team that obviously they just have our number. And so it's going to be a tough battle moving forward. I'm kind of ripping.
Hey, yo, Piano Man, hey, keep it clean in here, brother. You know, we let you in here. We don't do the whole booting thing, but keep it clean in the chat, man. I don't want to have to boot you.
What up, Jason? What's going on, man? Appreciate you rocking out with us. Rafa, what's happening, man? We need more discipline. No more egos. Discipline's definitely part of it, man. I mean, and it starts at the quarterback position, right? You look at you just look at the confidence that a quarterback can give you, right? If the entire team knows that you have a quarterback that can either get you out of trouble or will always keep you in the fight. You look at the Chiefs. Look at the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. You could be down by 2 touchdowns with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and that fan base and that entire team still knows you got a shot because the quarterback gives you confidence to potentially kind of work your way out of that mess. And the thing is that's where it always starts. And when your quarterback is the most undisciplined person on the team, damn, it's a struggle, man. Severe, man. What other issues with discipline do you see? We can even look at the coaching staff. But what are the discipline issues you see?
Yeah, man. It's just honestly, we don't look prepared. And we look like anytime we face any type of adversity, we just fold. We just fold like lawn chairs. And we don't have any ability to come back. Or we don't, as you said, like there's no, at one point in I don't remember if it was the third or fourth quarter, it just looked like guys were like, just like they had melted in. They were fine. Like, oh, we're getting our butt. I didn't see many angry faces. Like people were just okay. Like they were just fine, just getting curb stomped like that. So I don't know if the locker room has turned on Pete Carroll. I know we might get into his comments at the presser with the whole Jermaine Pratt thing, but then there's the JPJ stuff that's going on. Then obviously the Jacoby stuff that went down. Like I don't think that he's he's supposed to be the culture building guy. But it doesn't seem that he's established a winning culture or that he's won over this locker room completely. And for that to be like the main reason we brought him here and for him not to be able to do that and actually to be more detrimental at this point than good, that's a worrying sign.
It is, without question, man. I see up for review. What's going on? Hey, and Rafa, man, I appreciate the super chat, guys. Hey, make sure you guys go hit up Rafa's channel. Show him some support. Show him some love. Because at the end of the day, man, I think he goes live. I think he went live for the game. Rafa, I think I saw you going live for the game. But, man, guys, go hit up Rafa as well, man, his channel. And he also does a bunch of stuff for all other sports, UFC, WWE, all that fun stuff, man. If you guys rock with that, go hit him up for sure. Up for review. I've been telling everyone Chip is not an NFL coach. And this proves it again. Chip doesn't build, he destroys and benefits off others' work. Done this since Oregon, man. No one can argue with what we're seeing so far.
That's not true. That's not true because first of all, he was the offensive coordinator at Oregon. So he started off as the offensive coordinator. So when Oregon had high-powered offenses, when they had Jeremiah Masoli there, he was the reason that the offense were doing what they did. When their coach left, I forgot who the coach was. He took over and he will continue to do the same thing and continue to build and be innovative and had NFL teams flying to him to ask him questions about his scheme. Then he went to the Eagles, a team that was, I think, 25th or something the year before with Andy Reid, mind you, at head coach. He goes there and he goes third in the league in offense. I think he was 5th or 6th in scoring. Then the next year, or second in offense, and I think it was like 5th or 6th in scoring. Then the next year after that, he was third in offense and still like top 5 or 6 in scoring. And then even the year after that, when they got Sam Bradford and DeMarco Murray, and he still was 12th in the league in offense. The only year he did bad in NFL offensively was the San Francisco year. and that was the Kaepernick kneeling year. So like that's a tough situation for any head coach to navigate. Then he goes to UCLA and he transformed their offense and turned them into one. We looked at the numbers, turned them into one of the best rushing offense in the league. What Chip Kelly is terrible at, what he is not good at, he is not good at identifying talent. He is not good at recruiting talent either. I witnessed that firsthand, and he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't like doing that. That's part of the reason why he left UCLA to take a job at Ohio State, because he didn't want to do that. And that's part of the reason why he left college to come to the NFL, because he doesn't want to do that part. He doesn't want to get his hands tied with that stuff. He just wants to call plays and coach offense. But now he's at the mercy of somebody else's whims, and so he can't complain about not having the players he wants or the pieces he wants, because this is the bed that he made and he chose to lie in. So if he doesn't have the players that's necessary or that's requisite to run his system, it's his own fault. He should be petitioning and fighting to get the guys in the building that fit his system. And it doesn't look like he is.
See, this is why Severe is the voice of reason, especially with Chip Kelly. Actually, I'm with you, man. That's why you got that memory, and I'm telling you right now, and you're a UCLA fan, so you saw it firsthand with him over in college, man. So, but BBs, man, we're saying we as a fan base have to torch our organization for running such a piss poor program year in and year out. Now that's something that we can't argue with, without question. What else, Son Goddess? You're saying Chip is not earning his money? 100%.
At all. Jeremy,
it's funny that Telesco was called Coupon Tom, but SpyTek is really living up to that more than Telesco did. Yeah, you honestly can't argue that, except he decided to spend a shit ton of money on Alice Kappa. Mind-boggling. What up, James? What's going on, man? Yes, lucky Chris on vacation.
Lucky.
I could use one now. God damn, he picked a perfect time too. See, Chris probably talked to Rundown AI, and he just knew. He knew it was about to go down.
Saw the probability. That's why you hitting those parlays. See, now I figured it out. Now I didn't figure it out. I'm on you, Chris.
Exactly. He's talking to the right person. Susan, you're saying I knew Pete was just grabbing some Raider bucks before retirement. Hey, he's got that contract. So, Jack, sorry, there is no compete with Control. When asked about benching Gino, he said practice. I know, man. We talked about before, and that's wild. That's wild, man. But hey, James Lillard, man, I appreciate the super chat, man. I appreciate you throwing one out there. Yeah, get a couple comments in here before next to the next topic. What up, Raider Alex? Appreciate you popping in here with us. Players have been open. Gino's just isn't seeing it, or players dropping passes.
That is true.
So when we break down the game film, you do see moments like Trey Tucker might be taking the top off the defense a little bit. Sometimes Deontay Thornton. Yeah, he's open, and we see it when you break down game film. And I don't know if it's just Gino just really glued into just his first read and not being able to kind of scan through. And look, one guy that's also not out of the woods, one guy that you cannot, with the failures of Gino and the failures of this offense, the one guy that you cannot overlook is Greg Olson, our quarterback coach. Greg Olson as well. As much as he was touted as one of the better ones, I think he was with Matthew Stafford over with the LA Rams and stuff. It's like, even with Greg Olson, you're just not getting Gino to just show improvement and progress week over week. And he's just not getting this offense. By week 5, you would think that we would see some improvement, but we continue to see the same mistakes over and over and over again. And I know that it takes offense time to gel, right? It's a brand new head coach, it's a brand new offensive coordinator, brand new quarterback with brand new weapons. It takes time to build that chemistry. But you want to see continued improvement, and we're seeing just shit play over and over and over again. And there's nothing to hang our hat on at this point. So, look, we kind of talked about Chip Kelly. We talked about this offense. The one thing I definitely want to touch on is this special teams, guys. Guys, let me know how much fault you put on this special teams, because we had another punt block. One thing to think about. Yeah, in chat, let me know. I definitely want to call out everybody. Appreciate you. What up, Lord? What's going on, man? We need a Charlie Ursay eavesdropping on the coaches to see who the fuck ain't performing or leading correctly.
Yeah, that's that's Jim Irsay's daughter, who's wears the headsets and take notes to make sure like the coaches are doing the right thing and all that stuff. Yeah, I guess she's been doing it for a few years, but
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Ray said Bo Hargery had better plays than than this with zero experience and a hell of a lot cheaper. Good old Bo Hargery, man. I think he's got the play calling duties with the Titans. I think.
Yeah, they won.
I think I think he's got the play calling duties over there. And so Jeff's just laughing about playoffs. Yeah, we ain't playoffs is I think we're done. We're 100% done. Daniel Kim with that hashtag Raiders. Based on your notes and breakdown of film, what would your personnel be to change things up given how bad we're struggling? Oh my God, this is like an end of the live question, but Daniel, man, we'll touch on this right now. I'll be honest, man, to change things up, you have two options. These coaches got to get their money's worth. They got to coach these players up. But at the same time, what would have changed this is if we would have made better decisions in the offseason by acquiring free agents, and we would have drafted better. I'll be dead honest. We need to rewind time and do a better job in the offseason of acquiring different players and just drafting better. Severe, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Same thing. I mean, for first change, we got to get Dante Thornton off the field, man. we got to get Dante Thornton off the field. I'm not a fan of Jack Besh. He struggles to separate. And, that kind of limits what you do somewhat offensively because he's not a threat to beat anybody deep. So, but, like right now, Dante Thornton, they're just like Dante Thornton's not a threat either because he can't run a comeback route. He doesn't get the correct depth on his routes. He doesn't get he doesn't run like clean routes. So like it puts us in poor position. And, I think Gino kind of threw him under the bus. But he kind of faulted him for that second interception, saying against cover two, he didn't run a proper route. So at this point, I'm cool on Dante Thornton. Put Jack Besh out there so what he can do, and if he can't do anything, hey, get Shedrick Jackson up here and see what he can do. And I'm done with Dante Thornton at this point. The dude, he has a lot of work to do. I think he kind of overdrafted him. He's a guy that I know you guys liked. Farrell pointed out to him as well. But we're thinking like late round flyer, developmental guy, not a fifth round we spent on him. I was thinking like a fourth. Like sixth or fourth. Yeah, I was thinking like a sixth or something like that. On a guy with those kind of measurables. So that's number one. And if we don't have Brock, I would use Jack Besh in the same way that we use Brock Bowers. Obviously, he's not the athlete that Brock Bowers is, but I would use him in a similar role to that. He was a tight end at LSU. Steve Smith basically called him a tight end at the NFL level because of his athletic limitations. Use him in that same vein. Same thing with Albert O. He's a guy, or the other guy we had last year that we converted to tight end. Now we converted him. Was Justin Shorter. The same thing. Use these big athletic guys, move them and try to get matchup problems with these guys. Take advantage of these athletes that you have on the team. We don't seem to be doing that. So I know we're trying to keep everything static and trying to build and improve on what we have, and we don't kind of want to destroy what we're building. But at this point, we're not making any progress. So we need to find something else.
We're doing, man. Jeff, you're saying Crosby's going to ask for a trade in a few days. You watch. The players are going to turn soon. Look, I know last year and even the offseason, when basically Max wanted, just an extension on his contract, at this in the Raider fan base as a whole, they're all up in arms of let him go, let him walk. You don't want to be here. No one's above the shield, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I'm just going to go, man, at this point, can you blame a player for wanting to get out of this mess? I mean, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm a Raider fan till I die. I am a diehard Raider fan without question. And all of us, a lot of us are, in the chat everywhere, right? But you got to call a spade a spade. You got to just say, look, you're a player that at the end of the day, these guys are just drafted into this organization. These guys are they come over, they play for us. They don't necessarily, they're not diehard Raider fans. They just come to play for this organization. And at the end of the day, when you continue to just put a shit product out there, but your worth is better somewhere else, or that another team can get you where you want to go. Like Max is going to want to win a Super Bowl. And if we cannot paint that picture for him, then whatever, man, you do you. Like, I can't blame you for wanting out of this mess. Like, it's an absolute disaster what this organization has been for so long. So from this point moving forward, players you want out, man, like, I don't blame you. I'd hate to see you go, or if you ain't worth it, then move on. But at the end of the day, fuck, I can't blame you. Severe, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think it's in Max's character to ask for a trade. I think he's a guy that's, kind of loyal to a fault. That being said, I'm from LA. I live in LA. I am a Lakers fan. Max's idol, or one of his idols, is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was in a similar situation with the Lakers after they traded Shaq, where they weren't winning. He was carrying the team. And at one point, to force the hand of the organization to make drastic changes, he asked for a trade. And, he was very close to being traded. But, in the end, Jerry Buss, he made the decision that, you don't trade a 5-carat diamond for 5 1-carat diamonds. That was his thing. I have this asset. I'm not going to trade this extremely valuable asset for bit pieces. So he kept Kobe. Obviously, we were able to. The Lakers were able to make the trade for Pau Gasol, and they won 2 titles. I think they went to 3 finals. But knowing Max, I know Max knows that. So it makes me think at some point Max is going to get tired of losing. He's a guy that wants to compete at the highest level and to compete for something great. He's not going to be satisfied just winning regular season games at some point. He's getting, I think it was, what is he, 27, 28? Like he's getting close to closer to the end. He's closer to the end of his career than he is the beginning, unfortunately, even though he takes fantastic care of his body. So at some point, he's going to want to play for W's. And if that's not going to be in a Raider uniform, I think, it wouldn't be above him to ask for a trade.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, man, shit gets old. maxxcrosby's seen it. He's seen it to where we actually had some success, with Rich Bisaccia. And he kind of seen it, and we were able to kind of get there, at least to the playoffs, and then we blow things up. And it's just like, where do we go from here? And look, we're not going to kind of get in the AP discussion because I know that locker room and everybody was hollering and yelling for AP. But look, at the end of the day, it's really tough to hang on to players when you have a shit product like we have. So with that being said, a lot of us are talking about, or we want to talk about the special teams. Block punt coming off of the block field goal to lose the game last week. We had a kickoff return for touchdown, or we gave up a kickoff return for touchdown that got called back because of a holding call. So we got lucky there. But you even dial it back a little bit to the Commanders game. The Commanders ate us up in the special teams as well. And so we have a clear issue. Now, we pointed out on our game film last Wednesday.
Remember, we gave up a touchdown. It got called back because of a penalty. But I don't think the guy needed to commit that penalty. Even if he didn't commit that penalty, it would have went for a touchdown. So that's not something that doesn't go down in the stat sheet or in the record books. But we also had happened. We gave up a touchdown on a return. So that's another issue.
It is. And so here, look, on Wednesday, we kind of broke down that whole field goal situation, right? Everybody was kind of throwing out there that our center, or our snapper has a tell. And it's Bob Moyer. Bob Moyer, he snaps for both field goal and he snaps for punt. And we zoomed in, we showed where Bob Moyer, he does have a tell, right? Where he's got the ball, hands on the ball, and he tilts the tip of the ball forward first, and then he snaps it, right? So we saw the tell. So when the punt happened, they gave a perfect view of Bob Moyer. And I rewound it, I looked, and he did it again.
Yeah.
He did it again. That the tip of the ball dropped, and then he snapped it. And so, look, that's on the special teams coach, right? You just didn't correct it. The entire nation knew that there was a tell, and we didn't correct it. Now, you still have to execute. You still have to make sure that you execute your blocks, your protections, and all that stuff. But you don't correct it. The same tell we saw last week is the same tell I saw today, and we'll show it on Wednesday when we break down game film. But at this point, in
Like,
all
but
three
the thing is that,
phases.
Pete said he looked at the tape. He didn't see it. It's not there.
Or
That's what
did
Pete
he?
said.
I didn't see that.
That's what he said. He said it's not there, or we didn't see that when we reviewed the film. That's what he said. Now that could be just, hey, you know what? We're not going to tell the public we have a tail or we notice anything because we don't want to get. Even though the players already said, like the players said it on a national telecast that we have a tail. We saw it that it told us exactly what he does. That's how we were able to identify it. Like everybody knows already, but Pete said, they didn't see it, so I don't know.
I didn't, man. If he did say that, like we saw it last Wednesday, we saw it clear, without question, and I saw the same tell today, and so chat, let me know, is it time to really take a look at our special teams coach, because it's just not working out in all three phases of the game. We're failing miserably, offense, defense, and now special teams, and now with that block punt, one of the best punters in the National Football League, AJ Cole. He now got carted off the field, and now he's out, man. Severe. God, what's your thoughts on that? Knowing the fact that we had Carlson come in and put that goddamn football. Did a pretty good job. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. He actually, he got the ball off. But what's your thoughts on just our kicking game now?
Yeah, man. First of all, that's putting a lot of stress on Carlson. Now, but maybe not. No, he kicking a lot of field goals or extra points. So he can right. He can use extra leg work. He can use extra leg work. But Cole is some can say he's the player position for position. Some can say he's the best player in our team. He's the best. He's probably the best punter in the National Football League. He's the top at his position. Obviously Max is, he's the actual skill player. He's the best player, but AJ Cole is one of the better players on our team, and he is a weapon. Like, he is valuable. What he provides for this team is valuable. So to lose him, especially lose him like that with that same tail that was already noticed and we did not correct, that's malpractice as a coaching staff. That's malpractice as a position coach, as a coordinator, and as a head coach. Like that should have been fixed as soon as you heard about it. You should have been working on that, or using it to your advantage, giving that tail and then not actually snapping the ball, forcing teams to jump off sides or get an early jump, still five or so yards. So then they can't jump on it early the next time. But we didn't do that. Obviously we didn't correct it. Pete Carroll said it wasn't there when it is, and he's still doing it. And it got a punt blocked, setting them up in scoring position, and got one of our better players hurt.
We did. And look, again, all three phases, we're just struggling, man. This is tough, man. Ready to smoke. What's going on? Appreciate you popping in with us, Pete. His foot-long cockroach stompers. Got to pack it up. What's up, fellas? What's going on, man?
Yeah, my dog Raider Smoke, man. He met us.
I didn't even know.
I was looking for came out of you, Raider Smoke. I saw you did the last. I was looking for one from you, brother.
I'll tell you right now. I started reading that. I didn't know if I was gonna get myself in trouble, but what I was about to read, man. So Raider Smoke, I'm happy you didn't set me up on that one. 1-4. Versace was the last time we won 2 in a row. I think maybe I can't remember. I mean, shit, we only won 4 last year. So. Yeah. Dominic 5, you're saying we should have hired Sean Payton or Harbaugh. I said this on my live yesterday, man. I think Pete Carroll was he was our last. He was our last resort, and we were Pete Carroll's last option. Pete Carroll only interviewed with Chicago. That was it. Yep. So I think we were both our last options.
Yep.
and this is
star-crossed lovers. Basically,
yeah. This is where we said Moons over Miami.
But we should have went young. What's going on, Moon over Miami? Like, we should have went younger. I said it before the season, before he hired Pete Carroll. Yeah. A guy I identified was Mike LaFleur. He is the current offensive coordinator for the Rams. He worked under Sean McVay for a few years. Obviously, he's the brother of Matt LaFleur, who's one of the better head coaches in the league. Not only has he been under Sean McVay's umbrella, but he worked under Kyle Shanahan as well. So he's from both the Shanahan tree and the McVay tree. To the 2 trees bearing the most fruit right now in the NFL in terms of head coaches, he worked under both of those guys. So I would have thrown a nice chunk of change at him to try to attract him. Because if we're 1-4 with him right now, I feel a lot better because at least, hey, you know what? He's a young coach. He's going to go through some growing pains, and he's a play caller. So if the play calling with him isn't working, then he can turn over the play calling to his offensive coordinator. But right now, we don't like the play calling, but there's nobody else that can really call plays. So, you know, unless you want who's the quarterback's coach? Is it what's my guy's name? Not Greg Neff. I think he's passed away. The other guy that's been here 5 times. Has been everywhere.
I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name too. I can see him right now with the slick back hair. And guess who's the assistant quarterback's coach? Nathan Carroll. Coincidence, right?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. But man, Up in Smoke, I'm gonna kind of go back to your comment. You're saying I don't know how y'all continue to do it.
Greg Olson.
Yeah, y'all stream. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's tough. It ain't easy, but I love jumping on here and chopping up with the chat with everybody else, my guys, Severe as well as Chris. But I'll tell you one way that we get through it every single season, and this is just me, is maybe just this. That's it. I know it is because I'm telling you right now, it's time for another pour. I'm doing it. God damn it. But hey, a lot of people in here, man. I appreciate everybody. Let's go. Jake, you're saying are the Raiders trying to add to their record, not having blocked punts this season? Hey, the record of blocked punts and blocked field goals might be ridiculous, to be honest. LS, man, I've been saying for weeks that Tom McMahon is escaping too much criticism. Yeah. It started with the Commanders without question, man. Without question. What up, Herman? What's going on? I don't see us winning more than last year. And that's the nasty question is like, what happens? And we shout out to Chris. He basically was like, let's break. I want to say, was it after the Commanders game? He was like, let's look at the remaining schedule and who do we actually beat? And I think we had like 2 more wins.
Yeah.
Looking at the schedule. Yeah. And that was after us. That was after the Patriots game. So I'm sitting there going like,
look, I think one of those wins was the Giants. So we might have to cross it. Even though they just lost to the Saints, Jackson Dart, he had some struggles this game, but if he gets to figure it out, and they don't have neighbors now, so maybe that'll be our saving grace. But like that's not a guaranteed win anymore.
No, we broke the schedule down, and we sat there going, damn, like we saw maybe 2 more wins. And now after this one, it's like, damn, I don't even know if it's 2 more. What up, Miles? What's going on? Kevin Lurker in the building, man. What's happening, man? I think I saw you earlier.
The entire season. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look, and look, this is the problem. And this I said it at the time. I said it when we first did it. People didn't want to hear it, and people were, they didn't want to listen to me at the time when I said it. And I said this. I've had some misses on my calls, but I try to look at things logically and pragmatically. And I said when we fired Josh McDaniels that it was a bad look because young coaches and the agents of these young coaches would not allow their clients to come to the Raiders because they know they will not be giving the proper chance to actually implement their system and get the players to fit their system. I said it back then. I said, if we do this, it is going to have ripple effects going forward. Because as much as we like to think of it as, there's only 30 jobs and, or 32 jobs and, the other guys will want to come. And no, because these guys understand you have a finite amount of opportunities in the NFL. And once you start off bad as a head coach, you are tainted forever. People will remember that for the rest of your career. So unless in the very next stop you turn that around, you will have that stench on you. So nobody wants to come to this situation knowing they will not be given the proper chance to actually do what they feel they need to do to win before they are fired and have the stench of being a losing head coach on them until they can potentially get another job. And that may never happen. So that's what makes us so difficult. So not only did we do that to Josh McDaniels, but then we doubled down and made the same mistake again with Antonio Pierce. I don't care if you don't think he was the right guy for the job. Sometimes the politics of things is more important than what you think is right at that particular time. And we're not doing the football stuff right or the politics stuff right. We're losing on both ends of it.
We are. It's so bad, man. It's so bad. And just as a reminder, guys, man, Kevin Lurker, man, I appreciate you being a member. And I got memberships. Severe's got some memberships. Chris has memberships as well, man. Just kind of throwing out. So if you want to support the channels, man, we definitely appreciate you. We do a sub-only chat just so show appreciation to all of our subscribers and everybody. But we break down game film on Wednesdays. And again, YouTube doesn't like it, so we might have to switch a couple things up. But at the end of the day, we're going to keep hitting you guys with some game film, because look, we talk a lot about it, but at the end of the day, we try to show you some proof as well, man. So Kevin Lurker, man, I definitely appreciate you. LS as well. Everybody, pillaging for fun ain't the same. Do they change Marquette King's punting style in Denver? Shit, I don't know. I don't know if that was McMahon at all. But could be.
I think so. I think he was with Denver before. I think that was the stop before he came with us. So he's been with us he's been with us for a while.
Yeah. What up, Dub? What's going on, man? I appreciate you popping in.
My God, Dub. Make sure man, guys, over and sub to Dub, man. You get some great content over there, especially if you're a cigar smoker. I know a lot of people love the Stogies. Hey, he has a great show that he does. He's a connoisseur. He can give y'all some game, and I listen to it. I don't be knowing what they be talking about, but it's interesting stuff.
Exactly right. Exactly. Definitely go check out Dub, man. Not only on YouTube, but all the other, IG and all that stuff, man. Go check them out, man. Dub, appreciate you popping in with us. LS, the problem is that no young and upcoming coach will come here severe. And yeah, blank check isn't enough. Yeah. You might not be wrong. I mean, you look at Ben Johnson gave us a sympathy interview, a virtual interview because of Tom Brady. And then he's like, not peace. I'm going to the other trash organization, the Bears, route the box. Like he skipped us route the box, which is crazy. So James Lola, man, I appreciate you throwing a super chat out there. The last 20 years, we are 120 and 205.369 winning percentage. That's brutal. It's been a rough. And again, I'm trying to raise some kids as Raider fans. It's rough. Trust me. Man, James, I appreciate you throwing that super chat out there. Look. We talked about special teams. I don't know. Did you give did I give you a chance on special teams?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I see a notorious Ravens fan. I need that Jack Daniels right now. Hey, even as a Ravens fan, I would take you guys. Like, I'll take your last 20 years over ours.
But the thing there's things that I hate about it. I hate about it is because the Ravens they're going to probably be bad for this year, but they're going to get a high pick. They're going to get healthy next year, and they're going to add a high pick to that already talented team. So it's and they might end up probably firing their DC former linebacker. He's probably out the door, and they're going to pay top dollar for a good defensive coordinator, and they're going to be right back to being the Ravens because they still have Lamar Jackson over there. Derrick Henry seems ageless. Zay Flowers only going to get better. Isaiah Likely is going to still be good. Mark Andrews is probably going to take a step back, but they're going to add a premier draft pick there. Matt Abuke is going to be back. Like they're going to be back next year, back with a premium pick to add to an already loaded roster.
Yeah, and look, like my brother, he's actually a Ravens fan, man. I'll tell you right now, I would take your guys' last 20 years over ours, to be dead honest. I mean, I'd love to know I can compete for a playoff every single goddamn year. Jesus Christ, man.
We're two Super Bowl wins in that span.
Yeah,
several Hall of Famers.
So, Young Bizman is trading maxxcrosby on the table for a rebuild. God, man, let's do this. We're gonna end it off on this one because we talked about offense, defense, coaches, all that stuff. Chad, if there's any of the topics you want to talk about as we kind of end this thing off, but let's talk about that just real quick. If again, we broke down the schedule. If in the next 3-4 weeks, let's say we go into the bye without a win, we're literally what would that put us? We're 1-5 with 2 more games. That would put us 1-7. If we're 1-7 going into the bye, is anything off the table right now? Is trading Max on the table with this regime? And it's not like whether or not we think it's the right move. Like, do you think this regime would actually pull the trigger knowing that we have so many goddamn just holes to fill. And look, the only thing I'll add to this, just keep this in mind. The mass majority of our roster is on 1-year contracts.
Yeah.
This offseason is going to be nasty with bringing people back, bringing players back. So if we have any, like Landon Roberts actually had a decent game today. He was probably the only one making in the linebacker core actually making tackles at the line of scrimmage or behind it. Like he was hustling, he was doing his thing a little bit. I got to break down the film just to see just as a whole, but he was flashing, right? If there's anybody on a 1-year contract that actually does well, what makes you think they want to come back to this? You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Like, is it on the table? Would this regime actually put on the table to trade maxxcrosby at the trade deadline if the price is right and you can accumulate some substantial draft capital? Severe chat, let me know. Hit that hashtag Raiders if you can. I'll try to bring it up. But let me know, do you think this regime has maxxcrosby potentially on the trading block, bro, if we don't win another game close to that trading deadline? Severe, what's your thoughts?
So maxxcrosby is 28 years old, right? So it means by the time next season starts, he'll be 29. We know like the kind of age we starting to look at players kind of start to decline is 30, 31 in that range. Unless you're Von Miller, who I think he had a sack and a half today. Like I know what this guy's doing. But so I'll put it like this. Al Davis passed away 2011, right? Passed away in 2011. Mark Davis is left with the team. Mark Davis doesn't know a damn thing about running a football team on the football side. What does Mark Davis do? He talks to Ron Wolf. He talks to John Madden. Who do they suggest? They suggest Reggie McKenzie, a young, bright scout with the Green Bay Packers. Reggie McKenzie comes over here, and it's basically a fire sale. It's a fire sale. He cleans house, gets our cap in order because we're still in a lot of financial trouble because of Jabril Wilson and what was the guy named Walker? All those bad contracts we were signing, trying to regroup and instead of just hitting the reset button, Reggie McKenzie comes in, gets rid of all those guys. Unfortunately, it was at the expense of Dennis Allen. Sorry for you, brother, but he gets rid of everybody. Hits complete reset. 2016, by mid-season that year, we're Super Bowl contenders. So he takes over 2012-ish. By 2016, we're Super Bowl contenders. That flames out. That fizzles out, partly because of his drafting. So then we bring on Gruden. We bring on Gruden 2018. Gruden does the same thing. Trades Khalil Mack, trades Amari Cooper, basically almost kind of cleans house. Does a lot of the same things. Let's Cook go. We bring on Darren Waller. Obviously, we keep Carr. We re-sign Carr. And then what do we do? 2021, we're in the playoffs. So the last 2 times we've been in the playoffs, the last 20 years, has been a few years after we hit the reset button. Why not just do it again? Why not? History may not repeat itself, but it rhymes. Why not do the thing that's worked the last 2 times? I mean, it just seems like the most logical thing to do. And the only real trading piece we have on this roster that I would be willing to trade is maxxcrosby. I'm not trading Brock Bowers because he's too young. He's still on rookie. He's still young and cheap, and as well as Ashton Jeanty. I'm not trading Ashton Jeanty because he's too young, too talented, and still on a cheap deal. Those 2 guys, basically, maybe not so much Ashton Jeanty because like I said, running backs are running backs. If they're gonna give us the first for Ashton, I'm taking that. If you give me a first for Ashton, I'm taking it. But barring a first round pick, if it's anything lower than the first, I'm not trading Ashton Jeanty. I'm not trading Brock Bowers under any circumstances. Throw me 2 firsts and a second for Crosby. Oh yeah, that deal can be made. That deal can be made.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. People are definitely responding, so I'm definitely gonna get to the chat on this one. LS, man, I appreciate you throwing a super chat out there. There's not even a light at the end of the tunnel at this point. I know. When we looked at that schedule, it's brutal, and that was after the Commanders game, and now after this game, it's tough, man. It's tough work, man. LS, man, I appreciate you throwing a super chat out there. Jack, you're saying absolutely not trade Max. Remember Khalil Mack trade? Yes, I hated it, but shit, man, like at least we had some pieces at that time.
If we use those picks correctly, that would be the greatest trade of all time.
Oh God, and I hated that trade. I hated it, but look, we are in a horrible situation. LS, man, outside of Bowers, everybody is on the table, and I think that's what Severe said, man. I think we agree. Assassin's Creed, I know no one like Jack Del Rio and Reggie McKenzie. Damn, at least with them, there was hope. Can't deny, man. Reggie McKenzie that first year had to clear the books, and he brought in some good pieces. Jack Del Rio just lost the locker room. Actually, I have a buddy that used to he was the guard next to Donald Penn at Utah State. And so I was able to kind of chop it up a little bit with my buddy and Donald Penn. And Donald Penn said, like, it was true. Like, he just lost the locker room. There was really no recovering after what went down in that locker room. So that was tough.
Was it the KC thing?
It was when Marshawn Lynch ran onto the field.
Yeah, to defend.
Defend his cousin over his own teammate, and there was no consequences. And at that point, it was just tough. Ernest, trade the Raiders organization for the Packers organization. There's some good organizations out there. Yeah. Raider 7, everything is up for grabs. If we don't win any more games this season, yes, nobody is safe. ASAP, I say, get some capital off the dude. This is a fucking billion-dollar business. It is. Raider Vader. Al shouldn't have left this team to Mark, but he couldn't trust anyone enough before he died. So I think, because I don't think there's any other siblings. I think Mark is the only one. But I think Al Davis's wife is still alive.
Yeah.
Now, whatever, didn't pass on to her, but I think the Mark was the only one to pass it down to. Yeah. I think, which
it's probably in like a family trust, like the ownership. It's probably structured like that.
Yeah. And so, Jack, you kind of moving off of that, but, and you said, everybody's on a 1-year deal. For the most part, things can change fast in 2026. We hope so. It's like, why can't we be the ones where it changes fast, right? You had the Commanders that changed it fast. You see, who is it? The Commanders changed it fast. You see, who?
Texans.
The Texans were able to, flop it around pretty quickly. That first year with C.J. Stroud, and it's like, why can't it be us? Why can't we be the ones kind of just seeing the first, second, third rounders just thrive? We had a sign of it last year, but
the thing about that is that those teams had drafted relatively well up until that point, or they had young pieces. Like the Commanders still had, Terry McLaurin. There's some other guys there that were still like foundational pieces. Like, we haven't drafted well outside of Telesco really at all.
And Drew Gray say, look, and it's what Severe just said. If we trade Max, will we believe in Pete and Spytek to actually turn the draft picks into impact players?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Severe talked on it just a second ago, and we're putting the trust in guys that this draft class right now, as a whole, ain't looking too hot, and the free agents we acquired ain't looking too hot either.
Yeah, but you know what? That being said, though, I kind of said this as well, that I think that Pete Carroll had an outsized influence on personnel on this team, including draft picks. I think we already heard Chip Kelly talk about Dante Thornton was essentially his guy. Seems like Aston Genty was one of his guys too. It seemed like the way he talked about it. So I think he had a pretty sizable influence on who he drafted. Because Spytek came from an organization that didn't draft running backs high. They drafted Rashad White. I think Super Omnicron said it last time. I think he was a third or fourth round pick. Obviously, Bucky Irving, I think, was a 5th round pick. Like they were able to find highly productive guys in the later round. So and they usually, top picks, they usually went offensive line or like, other skill position players. So. I think Pete Carroll, we saw him do it in Seattle with Rashad Penny.
Yeah, and so look, Dakota, you're saying where will the Raiders go with the first pick in the draft? I'll be honest, you would hope maybe quarterback, but at this point, I really don't know. I think we have to see the thing it completely play out, and we might have a very clear vision as to where we want to go, and where the fan base wants to go, probably in the next 3-4 weeks. But, it's also trying to figure out exactly just kind of how these quarterbacks play out in college. And so I'm going to give it probably at least 3-4 more weeks until I truly, in my opinion, where I'd want to go truly with that first kind of overall pick. Because if we have the first overall pick, if we literally win one game the rest of the season and we are sitting at number one, man, we'll have the pick of the litter, but at the same time, can you move around a little bit, drop back maybe 2-3 spots and acquire more picks? We can get creative. So it's hard to tell only 5 games in just yet. But chat, answer the question. Where do you think the Raiders will go first round next year? Again, not knowing what we're going to pick, but let us know. Severe, any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it almost has to be quarterback. It almost has to be quarterback at this point. Especially if we keep Pete Carroll and Spytek, Pete Carroll knows he needs a quarterback. He has to know. Especially if Geno does not turn it around. He has to know he needs a quarterback. He almost has to go quarterback. If not, it's a deep offensive line draft. Fano from Utah is a monster. Their other tackle was a right tackle over there. He's a beast too. There's another tackle. I think, who does he play for? He's a monster too. Who does that kid play for? Oh, I think he plays for Oregon. I think he's Oregon. He's like 6'8" tackle, like a beast. Right. I forget his name, but I think it's Oregon. And then I obviously, pass rushers. The guy from Miami is a dog. Was it Reigns?
I don't know.
I think it's Reigns. I forget his name, but yeah. He's a monster. So I mean, if not this next draft isn't the what, because we need a wide receiver 1 too. It's not, if we had because the draft 2027, you get Ryan Williams and you get Jeremiah Smith in that draft class. So those would be the guys. Like, hey, you know what? If they were in this draft class, you would look strongly at them, but they're not coming out this draft class. They're coming out the next draft class.
Yeah, and Pigs saying Warren might be the best value in this past draft class. He's doing good in Indy.
Yeah,
he's doing his thing.
Will Johnson was a 2nd-round pick, or Schlesinger. Yeah, look. I sent it. Look, I sent it to. We got to put some respect on 805's name. I sent it to one of the better rookies in the league. is Parrish. Parrish is cooking with Tampa Bay, man. I got to put some respect on 805's name, man. We
said zero faith in Spytek.
We slandered him.
Ellis said zero faith in Spytek, but he said Spytek really told 805 to hold his beer after that mock Parrish to us in that 2nd round. Actually, I think I took Parrish in the 3rd round. I think I took Parrish in the 3rd round during our mock draft. I think. I may not, but I know I took Parrish. But look, yeah, I earned a pretty good nickname that mock draft, but we ain't saying it. Hopefully Jeff ain't in here because I know Jeff will throw it out there. I know
Isaiah
LS
Wood,
man.
Thanks, Greg. Isaiah Road, OT from Oregon. Yes, it is Oregon. Yeah, he's 6'8". He's a monster.
Yeah, and so look, to kind of finish off, to know what I want to go after in the draft, I got to wait to just see where we draft, what our pick is, what the talent is out there, and how do we construct the draft in a way that we can capitalize and bring as much talent as possible onto this football team, right? And so I don't know right now exactly who I would draft and when in the 1st round, but I think quarterback definitely has to be on the radar without question.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, LS, man, those mock draft shows are fun. We do mock drafts in the off season. So guys, if you guys want to rock with us, we do at least 3. We kind of wait till the tail end, but we do at least 3 and we have some fun. It was definitely some fun times. If you guys missed Severe's, I don't even know what to call it.
The greatest moment in Raiders YouTube history. That's what we call it. The greatest moment in Raiders YouTube history. If you guys missed that, oh man, you guys don't know what you're missing. You guys don't know what you're missing.
That was good. Severe was literally backstage, and he was just like, "Hey," because his screen was off, and I'm sitting there. I was waiting for him, and I was like, "Okay, do you got to turn your camera on?" He's like, "No, bro, I'm ready. Just bring me up." I'm like, "Yeah, but your camera's not on." He goes, "Oh no, I'm ready." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." He gave us a show that day. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. So Raider Nation 510, we should fix the O-line during the draft. Yeah. And shit, Severity talked about Schlesinger, man. I remember we did the Barcode Burger event out here in Vegas, and we were standing there. I was like, bro, like, you're a boy from UCLA. I got to ask you about him because that Schlesinger kid looked good.
Yeah.
And man,
he's balling.
He looks like he's doing well over in Cleveland. Jesus Christ!
I didn't think he turned it on as quick. I thought like it would take him at least a year and a half to figure it out because he was a walk-on. He was a 0-star recruit walk-on that didn't get a chance to play until Deshaun Foster got there because he had other guys that went to the pros that were in front of like Darius Muasau and some other guys that were in front of him that went to the pros as low-level players. But as soon as he got a chance to play, he turned it up. And as soon as he's in the NFL, he's playing at a high level right now. He's playing like lights out. That dude's a monster already. So that's a 2nd-round pick. And then obviously Will Johnson, like he's balling out too. He's another 2nd-round pick. So both of those guys are amazing value.
Yeah. And M12, you're saying that we blocked you. I don't know. Did we? We don't block anybody unless it gets crazy out of hand.
Yeah, I've never blocked anybody on any social media or
neither have I. So if you got blocked, man, I don't know, it wasn't us or something. There was a glitch or something, man. We don't block nobody unless you get real crazy. If you wanted to say you glad we ain't the GM, whatever, it is what it is. We ain't gonna block you for that. What a words of flag. Let's see. All right, shit. Assassin's Creed, man. You're talking about sellers, man. I think a lot of people are on sellers.
Lenore Sayers.
Look at all this. Can we skip the film breakdown and forget this game ever happened and just do a mock draft show? Man, I'm telling you, like, trust me, when I go through, when I clip up the plays, man, I don't know if I've ever been more disgusted about the Stone Forsyth breakdown because that was brutal to watch.
That was brutal.
This one might be bad because I have a hard time not showing certain things. Like it's like everything. There's always a coaching moment, right? There's always something that you can kind of point out and really try to show just the chat, the fan base, certain things that you might miss during the game. And this one's going to be brutal because I'm going to try to keep it. I'm going to try to keep it to 20 on offense, 20 on defense. But damn, this is going to be a tough one. We're still going to rock out with the game film, LS, but maybe those mock drafts are going to come a little bit quicker than last year. So, House Junkies, Lenore Sellers coming out this next draft. That QB is for real. I know a lot of people like him. Severe, like overall, what's your thoughts on Sellers?
I like Sellers. He's like I said, he's a boom or bust guy. But I will say this: like he's shown maturity. He had opportunity to leave South Carolina and take a fat NIL deal. I forgot what school, but he chose to stay there. And be loyal to his teammates. So, much respect for that. And he's a big kid, like fit, like strong, athletic, strong arm. He's very toolsy. He has all the traits, but just his ability to win from the pocket with any type of consistency. I haven't seen it yet. That's why I always talk about Dante Moore. So I know Dante Moore can and will be able to win from the pocket. So that's why I think like that Dante Moore, he's like Dante Moore is like as high praise. He's like Dak mixed with Stroud, mixed with Burrow. He's like you combine those guys. He has a little bit of all of their games. You combine those guys into one player, and that's kind of how Dante Moore plays.
Yeah, we got a couple more. Hold on. All right, so we got Jack Kenner, Raider, no trades, Severe's correct QB. If not the Utah tackle, I haven't looked at the Utah tackle. I'll check him out.
But no, he's nice. Yeah, and I think the other guy is Mensah. Mensah's good too. Somebody brought up Mensah from Duke. I like him too. He's a young kid. I think he spent last year at Tulane. Yeah, I saw him watching the Rundown's been talking about him a lot. I like what I saw from him last night. He's been balling this year too.
Yeah, I'll start doing my homework here soon, probably in the next week or probably a couple of weeks. And so yeah, what up, Jay? What's going on, man? I see a couple comments down below, man. Yeah, we're jokingly talking about mock drafts. What up, Jakey? You're saying should the Raiders get a new offensive line coach this year? Severe, let them know kind of our feeling of that offensive line coach.
Yeah,
if you haven't checked with us before, Jakey, you look like you're new, man. We haven't seen you before.
Yeah.
Sorry if I missed you in the past. We appreciate you popping in with us, but Severe will let you know kind of what our thoughts have been.
Yeah, well, we've never liked him since he was hired. It looked disastrous from the moment it happened, and that disaster has manifested itself in the offensive line play. But he's not going anywhere because he's the head coach's son. So like Pete Carroll is not going to make his son fall on the sword. Like it had to be a setup. Like somebody would have to like plant some like cocaine somewhere, and like it had to be something like that where he has to like step away from the organization, something like that. Like they're not going to fire him. It's going to be a situation where he decides to step away, or somebody else offers him a job, offensive coordinator job in college, and he like that kind of situation. But other than that, he's not going anywhere.
It ain't gonna happen. And so, all right, Alice, my bad. Okay, so was it second round? I'll trust you. I'll trust you. But still, I still would have taken him at this point. Shit,
he's balling. I can't lie, he's balling, man.
And then Jeff is still in the goddamn building. God damn it, Jeff. You're lucky I'm putting that up there. What up, Kevin Lurker? Yeah, man. Hey, Parrish is doing his work, man. He's doing his thing. Shit, Jack's got a question. I'm gonna pull that one up in just a second. Let's see, Frank Weber, man. I see you as Miracle Max and the Princess the Bride. I've seen worse. Just don't let Pete Carroll say "Hold my beer," and we see just kind of how this thing plays out. And LS, man, I feel bad. You woke up at 4 a.m. to watch that. It's been tough. It's been tough. So, Jack, man, you got a question in chat. Let's answer this, and I'll bring it up. Over under 4.5 wins. I got to say under. I have to say under right now.
Pounding the under with confidence. I'm taking the under with extreme confidence and comfort. Like I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about the under. It's a sad situation. I did not think this was. I said 6. Like I said, like 6 or 7, and even I was like, oh man, am I giving them like not giving them enough credit, saying just 6 or 7 wins? I greatly overestimated the ability of this team.
I did. So I mean, I never gave an actual record prediction. I broke down the schedule and just kind of my thoughts on it. I posted a video on it, and I never really gave a prediction because, again, you can't account for injuries and all that stuff, and really just how this offense or just the players are going to adjust to the new regime. But I ultimately thought around 7 wins. I ultimately thought like that could have been our ceiling, was 7 wins. And I think the over under on the betting lines was 6.
Yeah,
and it's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal without question. Jack Kenny said, "Dang, I had the Raiders at 8-9. Now you feel the under." Yeah, hey, Assassin's Creed. Look, as much as it's going to be brutal watching the game film. It's like this is what I love to do. Yeah. Like I torture myself, but that's where I live. I love doing it no matter what, because at the same time, like even through the wins and the losses, no matter how bad those losses are, you still try to figure out, okay, who actually still did well. And as we get towards the tail end of the season, are they continuing to do well? And that's a spot we don't need to address in the draft or in the offseason. So it's like I just look for consistency and who's consistently good or who's consistently bad. So I torture myself with the film, but shit, I've been doing it for more than half my life. So I'm used to it by now. Yeah, Jay, man, you got young ones over there. You just need to get your sleep. Don't worry about this Raider stuff anymore, bro. It's brutal. It's brutal. Let me see if there's any let's see. What do we got? I'm looking for, man, I'm okay, we got Jeff. All right, under 2-3 wins. You got 2-3 wins. Raiders 07, you got the under on the 4.5. Yeah, Jack Kennedy, you got the under as well. Let's go pigs. You're saying Salah's gonna be a top 5 pick. All right, we'll see how this all works out. The chronic tastic. I'm convinced Mark Davis has a vendetta against his dad's legacy. He cannot be this bad of an owner. If a doctor had to win last record as bad as Mark, he would have been fired for malpractice. You ain't lying.
You're not lying, yeah. Look, see, but the problem with the Raiders is that, and this is and I don't want to say because we have no control over what goes on the field, so we can't necessarily influence that. But fans never want to just lose. Like after we fired Josh McDaniels, bro, we need to just lose. We need to just lose out and get a top pick. And we're like, oh no, we don't tank and don't say that word, and it's a bad. Like, bro, it's about strategy. You got to work harder, not smarter. And instead of doing that, we won some meaningless games, and we got lucky with Brock. And then same thing last year. We started winning some meaningless games, and we ended up with Genty, but we probably should have gone in a different direction. Not that Genty isn't going to be a good player and be very productive in this league, but we can get a running back that can put up not be as productive or as good, but in the vicinity later on and get a more premium position higher in the draft. But where we were at, he was essentially the best player at a position of need. So that almost forced our hand. But but that's because we won some meaningless games.
Yeah. I mean, look, and I know for a long time, even all last year, everybody was like, tank. Oh, you're saying tank for a draft pick and you're not a Raider fan, blah, blah. It's like, look, but it just, this season looks bad. It's tough. Jay, man, you're saying I hope 7 wins. I think we're all hoping some wins, but at the same time, man, if this continues on, it's like it's time for a draft pick. I play for a goddamn draft pick. That's the tough part. Drew Gray, you're saying I hate to say this, but under 4 wins, they have shown us nothing to expect anything more than 2 or 3 wins.
Yeah, because my point is that if we win the amount of games that's not going to get us into the playoffs, I'd rather just not win games. If we're gonna win like 6 or 7 games and then miss the playoffs, like that is a fruitless effort. All right, this is not, and this isn't the what was it the 98 Raiders where we beat the Chiefs at the end of the year and knocked them out of the playoffs and we go 500 and that catapults this scrappy team into success. This is not that team. This is not that coach. It is not that era. Like, if we're not going to get into the playoffs, we need to just lose as many games as possible. And how you do that? Hey, I'm starting Cam Miller at quarterback. I'm starting Dante Thornton and Shedrick Jackson. I'm throwing Darian Porter and
just put Alice Kappa back in there.
Put Gritty Vance at the other corner. I'm playing nothing but young guys. I'm emptying the practice squad on my 53-man roster and just playing these guys, seeing what we have, losing games, brutal, and getting the best draft pick as possible.
Yeah, and also here's the thing. One thing I didn't mention, I'm gonna kind of get back to Greg Larry. You're saying 8. I said 8-9 wins as well. House Junkies Raiders offense can only have 1 decent drive per game and then it's over. And yeah, it's tough. The first drive is scripted and then we just 0 adjustments after that. There's 1 more win, possibly Titans, but they'll beat us. I know it's Assassin's Creed, 4 wins. Maybe that's being hopeful.
And it's going to take a Herculean effort from Genty and to win on the game, or just like Geno Smith playing the best game of this season. Other than that, I don't see us winning any games. It's just going to take Geno turning back to 2022 Geno Smith with the Seahawks, or it's going to take Genty, doing what he did plus more against the Bears.
And look, JustWinBaby, I don't see a scenario where Brendan Carroll's fired. I don't. We've talked about it at length, but unfortunately, I just don't see a scenario where he is truly fired. Maybe he could be demoted, but truly fired, I don't see a world where that happens. Frank Weber, man, you got all the confidence in the world. You want either you're saying you think 9 wins, or that's where you were at. Not sure, but man, 9 wins is bold without question. Franklin Skinner, you're saying at this point we need to trade Jacoby Myers and get draft capital for next season, maybe par him as well. We said it before. I think everybody's on the trading block, unfortunately, outside of Brock Bowers. Jack with that hashtag Raiders the problem. The problem with the Raiders losing trust with the GM coach and staff. Yeah, we're all losing trust.
Like the comment made about Pratt. The Pratt comments. I don't know if I didn't see the presser, but I saw on X the comments he made about Pratt. Somebody asked about Pratt, and I guess why he was away for the team were for personal reasons. And he didn't even travel with the team. Apparently, I thought he traveled. He didn't even travel with the team. And Pete Carroll was basically like, "Oh, we decided to go with somebody else in that spot." Essentially, like it's like, okay, it seems like it's a little bit of a fracture there. And like, I don't know if it's a Pete Carroll thing or if it's a Patrick Graham thing, but it seems that this guy is having a lot of little skirmishes and beefs with a lot of people on his team. And bro, you're 74 years old. You're too old to be this petty and vindictive, man. Like it's crazy.
So fill me in with the Jermaine Pratt stuff. Is there something going on there? I know I know that he didn't. He obviously didn't travel for some personal reason.
Yeah.
So shit, I don't even know what the hell's going on there.
But when Pete Carroll was asked about it, he essentially said we elected to go with somebody else. It was like it wasn't. I don't know if they told Jermaine to stay away or if it was like he said we decided to go with somebody else in that spot. So it seems maybe he misspoke, but the way he phrased it, it seemed like there's something there.
That's a lot, man. I appreciate you. So the one thing I definitely wanted to say was here's what really sucks is Geno gets benched, goes Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, let's say he doesn't work out right, and then we go ahead and we draft a quarterback next year. That's all fine. That's all and well. That means that technically Pete Carroll, he's on a 3-year contract with a 4th-year option. I don't think just as a 74-year-old coach, I don't see him making it to the 4th-year option. I just don't. Age hits you quickly. I mean, I said this when we hired him on. I'm like, bro, you better put your ass up in the box because if somebody rolls you over on the sideline, you're done. Like you're hospitalized.
Yeah. Done. Like the Dan Quinn thing.
Exactly. Can you imagine Pete Carroll taking a hit like Dan Quinn, bro? Like we won't have a head coach anymore. And so here's my thing: is Geno Smith don't work out. Kenny Pickett don't work out, then you try to go after and get a young quarterback. That's perfectly fine, whatever, right? But Pete Carroll has 2 more years at best. So do we really think that he's going to be able to develop a rookie quarterback in 2 years to win us a Super Bowl? Because once Pete Carroll's gone, we don't know who's next up. If Chip Kelly doesn't work out and runs an absolutely horrible offense this year and next, and then all of a sudden we blow it all up, like you hiring Pete Carroll to change the culture and create a winning culture, even if you sniff the winning culture, but everything looks like crap and you blow this thing up and you bring in a brand new head coach, you're flipping the script on everything. That new head coach is going to come in and possibly gut everything. Maybe that rookie quarterback that we just picked up the year prior doesn't work out anymore. That's not who they want, so they move on from him. Like, every new regime wants their guy.
Yep.
And so that's my biggest worry is that I always thought Chip Kelly was going to be the next guy up. He's the highest paid offensive coordinator. You pulled him from a national championship team. I think Chip Kelly comes to the NFL because he wants to be a head coach again. And so if Chip Kelly doesn't work out, and maybe it's Patrick Graham, I think it was a shot to him that said that Patrick Graham might be the next guy. Even if it could be, I don't know. But if the next head coach isn't in this organization right now and Pete Carroll's gone, guess what? Anything Pete Carroll put in motion is gone. And you can say bye to literally 90% of this roster.
Yep.
And so that's what worries me the most is that with Geno Smith not working out and all of us basically saying that it's a wash, Geno sucks, let's move on, let's get a new quarterback. Like, it's not like we have a head coach that's going to be with us for the next 15 years. Like, we literally can just hit the reset button on everything. And even if we waste a first-round draft pick next year on a quarterback and it doesn't work out, that next head coach could be like, I don't like this kid either. That's another waste of a first-round draft pick. Like, that's the fear that I have with all this not working out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to end it with something which it's just going to be like a feeling I have, and it's a horrible feeling. I'll be dead honest. I might have to pour myself into the drink before I mention it. But it's just a feeling I have, and I'm like, fuck, dude, if this is it, bro, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be pissed off. So Fan 420. Raiders suck. We do. I don't know what to
Yeah,
tell
we
you.
do. Yeah. We expecting some resistance on that against it? Like,
We suck.
I don't know. Expecting.
That's tough. I'm gonna try to get through some of these and appreciate everybody.
Yeah.
George, when you're saying cut the dead weight, show these guys failure has consequences. Kappa, Wilson, Meredith, and Kelly. This coaching staff needs to know. This front office needs to know there's consequences. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Alfredo, just pain, baby. I know, man. What up, Chewy? What's going on, man? I appreciate you popping in with us.
My goodness.
The what?
The Bills lost to the Patriots.
Did they really?
Man. As I said, it's a divisional game, man. It's 23-20. Like, anything can happen in those games. Divisional game, anything can happen. It looks like, man, it looks like Diggs got off.
Did he?
Diggs went 10 catches, 146 yards.
Man. Yeah. That's tough, man. Jack Kennedy said, look at the Raiders draft picks and snaps, so rookies are not getting them overall. A funny side, not with JJ Pegues. We'll get a not funny side. JJ Pegues will not get a snap at running back. Hey, bro, Bakersfield, I'll come thirsty. I'm just letting you know.
A funny side note with JJ Pegues. Yeah,
funny side note.
Not having it.
It's all right.
Not creating that. But look, this is why I didn't want Pete Carroll, and this is why I didn't think it'd be this bad, like in the short term. But it's just that he is 73, going to be 74 now. Like, you don't hire your head coach, and the first thing you start worrying about is who's going to be my next head coach. Like, 3 years was the very most we were going to get out of him. I know he has the 4th-year option. They wouldn't even guarantee the 4th-year option because they didn't think that a guy that was 77 years old could be he can't be the guy as the head coach of your team. Like, I think that was pretty obvious. So, it was a desperation move at the very last second because he was a name and people thought it would bring credibility to the organization. But it's failing spectacularly because we hired him for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, and last PK canceled all film study and replaced it with canasta and bingo sessions. Maybe we should too. Maybe we should do. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be brutal going through that film. Raiders 07. You move Pete Carroll to the basement like office space after the season. Yeah,
for the stapler.
Brim Blow, we should trade a 4th round pick for Cleveland for Sanders. Look, I'm not giving up any more draft capital. I'm sorry. I'm not, but at the same time, I never was high on Shedeur Sanders in the 1st round. I had a 3rd round grade on him, but I wouldn't have been mad if you pulled like a 4th or 5th round on him.
Yeah.
Why not? I wouldn't have been mad at that. Didn't want him in the 1st, but that ship sailed. And here's the thing: I don't want to give up a 3rd for Geno, a 5th for Kenny Pickett, and then a 4th for Shedeur. Like, you might as well just throw away the goddamn draft. Like, it's stupid. And Raider Ant 112, man, a lot of mishandling, without question. God damn it, Food Chris, you just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I would rather watch Bingo and Canasta than the Raiders football at this point. That's more riveting.
I know. Yeah. LS, man, throwing a super chat out there. Appreciate it. I don't love Geno, but he's not exactly in the best position to succeed. What other quarterbacks in the league would step in and perform under these conditions? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because honestly, at the end of the day, it's like we don't have the best weapons. Brock Bowers is hurt. And then at the same time, I really don't know how well Chip Kelly and Greg Olsen are really doing in their position. So it's it's so hard to figure out what quarterback would actually thrive in this. Unless you had a crazy mobile quarterback that could get out of trouble like crazy and he's running for first downs all day long, maybe that would help. But Severe, man, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, that is true, but it's not I can see if Geno was playing at an average level and we just weren't winning. You're how come how you expect this guy to win? He's playing terribly. He's playing you can link some of our losses directly to his decision making and his inaccuracy and his just not reading the field properly and him being fooled by coverages. he's not seeing things, and I don't know if it's a confidence issue where like it was I think it was a coverage bust on the Tampa 2, and he had Jack Besh open up the seam, but I think he's scared to throw to the seam because he's thinking like, yo, they waiting to get me again, like, you feel me? So it's like he's not gonna throw to. So I don't know. He hasn't been put in the best circumstances, but some of his own failures are his own doing.
Yeah. It's true, but again, I can't point out really another quarterback. Again, it may be just another quarterback that, like Severe, I guess you kind of point out and alluding to this, is just minimize the turnovers, right? If we minimize the turnovers, then it helps us potentially be competitive throughout the game, and things are obviously closer. But man, it's tough. But I don't want to go out there and trade for anybody. We've given up way too much draft capital at this point. LS, again, let's be realistic. We can't say that Pete sucks, Chip sucks, the line sucks, the receiver suck, and then turn around and say we need a better quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Dumb. But who else is out there? I think you're talking about a quarterback. I know nothing that I would trade for at this point.
Yeah. Is DTR was somewhere? I don't think he's gonna win, but just give us
I don't know where DTR is.
Yeah, give us another option.
I mean, he was a guy that was available that we could have picked up and not give up a 5th round draft pick.
For free. Yes. For free.
And probably will perform exactly like Kenny Pickett. So why not?
I lose games the same. Like lose just as many games.
Jesus. And so many people gave us shit about that too.
Oh.
And it was just
rightfully so.
God damn. All right. Remember when people thought his son
Trask was available, wasn't he? Wasn't Cal Trask available for free?
I think he was. Oh, I don't know if he was. But shit, the backup for the Ravens for a long time.
Not Tyrod Taylor, the other guy. I know you're talking about.
The other guy.
Dang.
The black quarterback.
Pro Bowl. The guy went to Pro
Bowl. I'm blanking on his name, but I believe he was out there at the same time. I was like, just pick his ass up.
Huntley.
And you know what? And I know when the injury happened, I went on here and kind of talked about it. Everybody's like, no, like you're crazy. But he ended up signing the next day. So he was kind of off the board. It was Carson Wentz. Like, screw it. Go get Carson Wentz. He was available. He worked with KC so we can get some intel on KC. And I was like, just bring his ass in just for some competition. And I posted a video on it. A lot of people were just being like, dude, I don't want Carson Wentz. I want nothing to do with him. And I'm like, he's for free. Yeah. You don't give up any draft capital. Yeah. And he's at least a veteran that can come in and know that my role is to not turn over the ball if I get in the game. That's it. It's just provide competition. He's not trying to come in here and earn another starting position. It's just, I know my role and I'm coming as a backup, but maybe we can get some intel on KC. But we're going to roll with possibly Kenny Pickett. VBZ Raiders gave Pete a Twilight tour on our expense. It's looking wild, man.
Yeah.
What a Bellican, man. Shuffleboard for everyone. See, the old jokes are going to just fly now. Like, that's what's going to happen. Like, they were already there, but it's gonna be like times 20 moving forward. Jay, man, I think Raider Nation needs to have an intervention to make his ass have a come to Jesus moment. I think you're talking about Pete Carroll, possibly.
Yeah.
What up, Tanner Jack? And here comes Jack Kenna, stirring the pot. Watch those talks start to happen. Everybody wants DC4. Kind of rear his head a little bit. Jesus Christ,
man! I've been seeing it all over X.
Is it starting? I mean, I know it started a little, but is it starting?
Yes, it's not at a fever pitch yet. Geno Smith goes out there and has another duck, lays another egg, which is quite a possibility because the Titans have a good defense. Oh, it's going to be at all time. It's going to be deafening.
It's going to be tough because honestly, if Geno don't work out, if Kenny Pickett don't work out, and he's just playing horrible, it's like, what? Watch now. It's going to be a battle between the DC talks and the Aiden O'Connell talks.
Yeah,
that's what's going to be. That's going to be rough. Chewy Taysom Hill better than Geno. At least Taysom can take off and run.
Exactly.
Wildcat all day long. All day long. Raider Nation 10, you're saying Can we go get Wilson? He's already gone in New York. I'm not going to trade. I'm not giving up any more trade capital.
Yeah. That we should have got. I wanted Jameis. I said we should have got Jameis this offseason, and I don't even think we made effort. Partly because Aiden O'Connell was here already.
Yeah. And now, unless you're saying if that's the case, why do all these QBs look serviceable elsewhere, and then get here and they suck? It happens for 15 years. Are we cursed?
Yeah, true. True. But we're just bad at. I think we're just bad at evaluating talent. That's part of the reason.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Honestly, it's like I think as a Raider fan base, and look, I know I tell you guys just how much I've been involved in football in my years and stuff, and I sit there and go, look, at this point, it's like shit. Like I just wish we would have done things differently in the offseason in the draft. That's it. Like that's kind of where I'd go at this point because. We're only 5 games in the season, and I think 95% of the Raider Nation fan base is like, fucking blow this shit up. Time to hit the reset button, and now we're looking at drafting quarterbacks next year. Like, it's tough. It's the day in life of a Raider fan, man. So, Ace Boy, you're saying you got that hashtag Raiders. Aren't getting another dime from me this season. I hope none of us.
Oh, yeah.
I hope nobody, because we all know Rundown ain't going to the Titans game no more. He got that excuse.
Conveniently.
He got that excuse. If anybody sees Raider Rundown, you guys got to let us know. You guys got to let us know. Raider Chaos. How come they didn't bench Geno? Why didn't they, Severe? Why didn't they?
That's a PK. He wanted Geno Smith to practice. He wanted him to. He wanted Geno Smith to practice playing quarterback. Oh my God!
Shit, he
this
did.
Is ridiculous. This you can't make this. He said he wanted him. He actually said those words. Like he actually said the words. We wanted him to practice. Oh my God, bro! This is crazy.
Yeah. Hey, VBZ, I know. Hey, DTR, funny story. DTR actually dated my neighbor's daughter. So I actually got to chop it up with him. They were throwing a birthday party for him, and they invited me over. I saw him, and I was like, he started talking about football and stuff, and I was like, he looked familiar, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And that's when he was graduating from UCLA, and so I actually was able to chop it up for a couple hours with DTR. So man, if he came to the Raiders, man, at least I might go to a game and be like, hey, you remember me? We chopped up for a couple hours. But yeah, he was dating my neighbor.
He seems like a good kid too, man.
He was cool. Yeah, he was cool as hell. But yeah, dated my neighbor's daughter. So funny story. So, all right, man. Shit, we've been on here for what up, Triumph, man? Tragedy. I see you, man. Appreciate you popping in with us, man. This is where we stand. 1-4. Only 16 teams in the history of the NFL have made it to the playoffs, starting 1-4. And again, we just have nothing to really hang our hat on. Moving forward, again, Genty had a decent day, but at the same time, if Genty continues to have to do the body of work for this offense and gets beat up, good luck the last 6 games of the season. We're going to beat his ass up, and we're going to basically, basically tear him in the dirt, unfortunately. And so, I think that's where it's going to get tough at the end of the day. And where we go from here, we don't know. We just got to hope this coaching staff coaches them up and improves in their own way. LS, man, you're saying Geno struggling is an isolated issue. It dates back to Jimmy G, Minshew, etc., who all look serviceable at their previous teams, and they get here and completely fall apart. Common denominator is us.
I can't disagree with that at all. I cannot disagree with that at all.
I can't either, man. Jeff, appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, guys. Hey, we appreciate everybody. I apologize if I couldn't get to some of the chats, man. I'm a little bit behind, man, but I appreciate everybody rocking with us, man. Like I said before, you guys that rock with us, even when we're this bad, we definitely appreciate y'all. So, man, we're gonna jump out of here. Remember, hit up our guy Chris, Protect Show Podcast. He's the third part of the Raider War Room. We hit you guys on Sundays or whenever the game is after the game, and we break down some game film on Wednesdays, man. So, but man, Severe, let them know what you got going throughout the week. You had a bunch of shows throughout the week, man. Let them know what you got going on.
What's going on, man? You guys know where to find me. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, IG, X, True Social, Twitch, Kick, just about everywhere. I need to start Blue Sky. But yeah, just about all social media.
I don't even know all this time. Crap. Blue Sky.
It's just the True Social is like right wing Twitter. Blue Sky is like left wing Twitter, and Twitter is
okay.
It's Elon Musk's plaything basically.
Got
it. Yeah, you guys at the Severe Raider everywhere. Tap in with your boy, man. I almost went live today right after the game. That's how mad I was. I was like, man, let me just save some of this because I was gonna fly off a handle. Let me compose myself, gather my thoughts, and get on here with 805. But see me Tuesday night, the 50-50 show. My guy Petecarroll NFL. We'll be back with 805. At least I'll be back. I'm not sure if Chris will be here yet, but we will watch this film on Wednesday. Y'all gotta watch it with us, and no calling out, no calling off of work. Y'all gotta be here and witness it with us as well. And then Thursday as well, with my guy Petecarroll NFL with Around the Shield. So yeah, tap in with your boys, man. Make sure you guys go hit those likes buttons, hit the subscribe buttons on all of our channels, as well as Chris from Protect the Shield. Tapping with our brother. He's the fortunate one. He's on vacation. He didn't even see this massacre. Yeah. He listened to it on a boat, then went to go have drinks and dance. And so I'm sure he's having the time of his life right now.
I'm sure he is, man. It's funny. LS, man, Gino didn't get benched because Kenny Pickett's tiny hands won't be able to handle Meredith's snaps.
Hey, yo, some of his snaps are, like, I think when one of the interceptions against the Bears, it was like a terrible snap. But then Gino caught it. He made a great catch that threw a terrible pass for interception. I was like, Gino Smith. Oh, my God.
I know, man. But, hey, man, you guys know we definitely rock with y'all. We definitely appreciate everybody. Like I said before, man, everybody that's been popping with us, we appreciate it because, look, as we continue to have horrible seasons, let's do this. I might bring back the start and bench them, cut them. It's something we do in the off season just to kind of have some fun, especially when there's not a lot of news going on. We have some fun. We do start them, bench them, cut them. If you guys have been rocked with us in the off season, you guys know what that is, man. We might have to just bring it back because at the end of the day, if it continues to get nasty, we're just going to end up repeating ourselves on just how much we suck and waiting for the mock drafts and the draft to come up, So, hey, we appreciate you guys. Hey, double tap that screen before you get out of here. If you can, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. You got Chris Protect Show podcast that's not with us, but always rocks with us in the Raider War Room. Got the Severe Raider. I'm 805 Raider, Real Talk Raider Nation. I got obviously just my channel. I do my own individual videos, but I rock with my guys, and we break down game film every Wednesday. Again, it may not look good, and it may not be right, but at least we'll know who we can continue to rock with moving forward in the offseason and who do we need to prioritize in free agency as well as the draft. So, man, I know it's hard. I know it's rough. But at the same time, we appreciate every single one of you guys rocking with us. So, again, do me a favor. Double tap that screen before you get out of here. Hit that like button, subscribe. And if you want to become a member, shout out to all of our members. We appreciate you guys. But Severe, myself, Chris, we have memberships. If you guys want to support the channel, we definitely appreciate it. So, guys, have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a great start to your week. And we'll see y'all on Wednesday for some film breakdown. We appreciate y'all.
I'm about to go watch the UCLA game to cleanse my palate. Thank
And that's a good one. They beat up on BYU, so you can't complain about that. So
now your boy on Penn State.
I know. Drew Aller, man. Again, I hate that offensive coordinator, but I got to look at Drew Aller against UCLA and just see how it works out. So, but hey, appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. We're out of here.